Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. Come here. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Where'd I go? I saw me for a brief second and I disappeared. Alright. Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing? Oi. What's going on? Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing? Oh, good. We're gonna take it kind of easy tonight. I was gonna do Punch Out. I really was. I had a plan. I had Punch Out planned tonight. But then I saw a video uploaded and I was like, oh my god, I want to watch this. And I thought it'd be great to watch this video with you guys. Ah, my finger got stuck in my dental floss. Yeah, I found a video that I thought would be great to watch with you guys. What's this video, you may ask? Well, it's a video about the history of X-Play. One of the first video game review shows ever. Back when, oh my god, back when gaming was such a niche thing. You know, we think gaming as being around huge always when it first came out. Nah, son. It used to be a niche. So much a niche. And I thought it'd be great to go back into time and see the history of it. I watched a little bit of it. I was like, okay, I need to watch this with chat. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're gonna watch the history of X-Play. I hope y'all ready for it. I hope y'all ready for a blast to the past. I hope y'all ready for it. I also can get rid of that too. Thank you. Alright, let me make sure the audio's good. And let's go ahead and get on. Wait, let's see. I don't want 480. Why is that 480? It needs to be at high quality.
The evolution of the video game industry
hear
is
it?
something to be admired. What was once seen as a thing that was just for kids and geeks blossomed into the most
hear it?
profitable venture in the entire entertainment industry.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean much at the end of things. It's also the most monetized of the bunch. Most mobile games these days are some form of gacha that want every single penny in your pocket.
Every
People
single
can
penny.
make their entire careers based on just playing video games. Sometimes not even well. But the fact is, people take the gaming industry very seriously these days.
Yeah, we sure do have a lot of streamers that just do video games. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just it's a very flooded market, myself included.
It's hard to imagine a time when people didn't, but that was the case for a while. As the 90s continued to push the envelope for what was allowed in video games, then people started paying more attention.
Oh, hold on. We got a bot. Bot gone. Thank you.
To it. The PlayStation was marketed towards a more mature crowd. The games were cutting edge, and there were many games that pushed the envelope for what video games could be.
It's not kid stuff anymore. This isn't your kid's gaming console.
This is when the barrier was finally broken.
It's always kids and teenagers that just want to be viewed the same as adults. They want to be viewed the same as adults. They're not though. They're kids. Oh my god, look at these old ass graphics.
People saw the games that were coming out around the turn of the millennium. That and the then growing popularity of the internet, it was a 1-2 punch that made people look at video games in a new light. These were both industries people needed to keep an eye on, and even potentially find a way to get into these industries. In 1998,
do y'all remember Full Sail? Do y'all remember Full Sail University? Get into the gaming industry by becoming a Full Sail, by learning how to program video games at Full Sail.
Cable channel was created by the name of ZDTV, which would later go on to be known as Tech TV.
I wonder how many people actually got jobs going through Full Sail.
It was a niche channel, dedicated solely to covering the ever-growing internet and made to capitalize on the dot-com bubble at the time. This channel would have a handful of different shows showing off what new geeky...
Look, it's a VTuber! It's a VTuber! Before VTubers were even a thing.
Technology was coming out, but they had one show in particular we're going to focus on today.
Wait.
The gaming website,
Wait,
they
what
had
was that?
one show...
That thing is $6,000. Unless it just says S6000. Parasound S6000. Or does it say $6,000? Oh.
particular we're going to focus on today. The gaming website GameSpot had an idea for a TV show to pitch to Tech TV. Tech TV would greenlight it. This TV show would be known as GameSpot TV, which...
I remember GameSpot TV. I remember GameSpot TV. It was I didn't see many episodes of it, but I remember it. I remember what was it? See, that was the first time I saw Adam Sessler.
Which would then evolve and change over the years into what we would know as X-Play.
X-Play, let's go.
X-Play stands as one of the pioneers of gaming journalism and reviewing, but one day it would all go up in smoke. And we're going to see why that
up
is.
in smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to...
The story X-Plays, the gaming pioneers that lost it all. Twice. Oh, this is going to be fun.
But before we get into the major meat of things, this video is sponsored by ZocDoc. ZocDoc is back for round 3, baby! I don't know about you guys, but this is usually the season where a lot of colds and flus are going around.
I had the flu.
This video,
I got
so
sick a couple of weeks ago.
Sick myself. Thankfully, it was just a quick doctor visit and back. But usually going to the doctor
the
is quite
doctor
a taxing experience.
me,
Nobody really
stuff.
wants to go, but if they're sick, they have no other choice. Luckily, with today's sponsor, ZocDoc, they're here to offer you a more seamless way to see the doctor and cut out most of the fluff. ZocDoc is a free website where you can search and compare doctors of all kinds to find the one perfect for you, and where you can make a few clicks and score yourself an appointment. From eye doctors to dentistry to therapy and psychiatrists, there's well over 150,000 doctors for you to choose from across all 50 states. Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, or one of the other 200 plus systems to build the care team that's right for you. You can filter them by location, insurance, among other ways to find the one that's just right. After you find yourself one, you can usually score an appointment up to 24 to 72 hours. You might even get some same-day appointments. I hope I get same-day appointments. I hate waiting. Stop waiting and start getting the care you need.
No one likes going to the doctor. They never have any good news.
MagicMush to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
They tell you you're sick or you're dying.
ZocDoc.com/MagicMush and instantly find and book a top-rated doctor who feels right for you. Thank you, ZocDoc, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the gauntlet. You know, I always make a big deal about James Rolfe on this channel, and what he did for online content creation as a whole. He was one of the first noteworthy ones doing anything like this, and that's why he gained the following like he did. But that's the thing. He was one of the first noteworthy ones. I've noticed whenever someone starts a huge trend, or changes the landscape of an industry, there's always technically someone who beats you to it. They just didn't take off like the other ones did. While James may have been the one to popularize online game reviews, did you know that there was an older game review show online called Classic Game Room?
I did not know that.
Online game reviews in video format reviewing Dreamcast games all the way back in 1999. Imagine using dial-up internet.
1999? 99? Oh, that's old. That's almost 30 years old now? That'd be 30 years old here in a little bit.
Hours to download a few minute-long videos of these guys crapping on Nico the Dolphin.
What do you do when you get hungry? How do you knock out that big hunger? Well, I tell you, I eat the best, most nutritious mammal on the planet. No, not your Uncle Lester. I'm talking about dolphin.
If you want to go really far back, you can point at George Wood with gaming in the Clinton years, where he was reviewing video games in the mid-90s on public access television, and probably need to be on some type of medication.
We have a challenge to IDOS. In Tomb Raider 3, create a storyline in which Lara gets breast cancer.
But we're not talking about him today, so we're going to fast forward to 1998 and talk about GameSpot TV instead. It wasn't an internet show, it was on television, but it spawned from a website, so you can make several actually comments here. Not to mention, you have the ability to download the episodes through your modem.
God. Look at that
Yeah,
quality.
Doesn't this look great? The dial-up times.
That was considered the best quality at the time. Oh man.
Rough people. Now, I tried going as far back as I could to find exactly where the seeds of evil were planted. I couldn't really find a first episode showing of GameSpot TV. The earliest episode I could find was October 1998, so that's as early as we're getting. Also, big shout out to all these archive channels who have made it their sole purpose in life to keep the spirit of this time in gaming history alive. So, what exactly did they do on GameSpot TV? Well, it was mainly a news show, showing the audience the new and hot video games coming out to keep your eye on.
Oh my god, Dead or Alive 2! Dead or Alive 2! I remember when the first Dead or Alive came out. When the first Dead or Alive game first came out, oh, it was such a hype thing because there were boob physics. The boobs were bouncy. You could turn, there was a toggle to turn on and off the boob bounciness. And the way they bounced was hilarious because it wasn't just like jiggles or anything. They bounced.
They sometimes had segments and interviews with people involving some of the games coming out, and the influence it was having on the gaming community at the time. This isn't really anything special at all, but back in 1998, if you were heavily involved in the gaming scene back then, this was probably a really nice novelty. Just being able to veer into a completely different era of gaming, like almost every single person they interview for the show is a complete geek, and they couldn't be happier.
Oh man, and the cameras they were using back then, it's nothing like the cameras that we have today. Cameras that we have today are tiny compared to the TV cameras they use. The TV cameras they use, they're huge and heavy. Each one weighing about 50 pounds or something like that. So, yeah, this is getting a camera like it was expensive. Those cameras are expensive too. These aren't cheap cameras. So you have to invest money into getting this camera and hoping that you get your money back just making these damn shows.
I think persistence in characters is really important. Figuring out how to scale to larger and larger.
Oh, look, it's a young Gabe Newell.
It'd be really interesting with a huge number of servers around the internet to figure out how to have an economy that existed between the various servers. Those are some of the longer term research areas that Valve and some of the other action gaming companies are looking at.
And let's not forget, they would also have reviews of some of the games that came out. The reviews mainly try to come off as informal or professional. It doesn't try to make quips about Buffalo shit or anything like that. It tells you...
Look, Rayman, a 9.4 out of 10. Why a 0.4? Why not 0.5?
The game's mechanics and gameplay, if they work or not, and judge the games based on that. Nothing more, nothing less. They get the job done, and let me tell you,
Chrono
you'll
Cross!
be bleeding for these types of reviews to come back as we get further into the video. So the main thing you should take from all this is that GameSpot TV, and by extension, most of ZDTV at this point in time, was dedicated to a very small niche of people who were interested in the things they covered. It was for nerds, outcasts. The typical person had no real interest in this stuff at the time.
Hell yeah.
Minus financial incentive.
We thought it was
GameSpot
cool.
TV.
Us nerds, we thought it was cool. This was cool technology.
Had a slew of hosts, most of whom originated from GameSpot, but then there was the main female host and the main male host. Don't worry about the female host, Lauren Fielder, right now. She won't be here long. The one you want to focus on right now is this guy.
I remember there's a future episode of X-Play where they look back to the old, where Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb look back to this old GameSpot video, and Morgan Webb acts jealous. Like, who the hell was that lady?
This is Adam Sessler.
Oh, there he is.
Being the living embodiment of the late 90s and early 2000s with those frosted tips, get used
there
to
he
seeing him,
is.
because you're going to be seeing a lot of him in this video.
Oh,
right now, the show isn't the one everyone
doggy.
remembers just yet. It's got to evolve. In 2001, the name dropped the GameSpot moniker and updated to Extended Play, where not really much has changed.
I remember when it stopped being GameStop and turned into X-Play or Extended Play. And then they changed it to X-Play. It's like, why is it called X-Play? Because it's extreme!
They still do their interviews, their news reports, and their reviews. They cover the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox console launches. The show is still more so about being informative, and for the niche audience that was watching it, but that was all about to change. The last episode of Extended Play ended with a several-minute-long segment dedicated to LARPers doing their thing in the snow.
I feel like I don't have anything else that I would have built for it.
Why? I mean,
Bella bolt's what I use when I don't have anything with a
I mean, dude, these guys are just Dungeons and Dragon players that would say, let's do it in real life.
And they are taking it super seriously.
We're gonna do this by the numbers, everyone. The fighters are gonna be up front. We want casters backpacking the fighters. Who has life spells here? Raise your hand.
Onwards to victory!
Seems the battle has begun. At the end of the day, like all good warriors, it's time to go home. I've seen some orcs, I've seen some knights, I've seen some stuff I'm not going to forget.
Yeah. Yeah, LARPing is not cool. LARPing is not cool. So cringe. But you know what? If they're having fun, that's good on them.
Time soon.
Because look at this. Look at this. Bunch of dudes hanging out together, doing something that they love. It may be cringe, but they're having fun. Congrats on these dudes.
And that was the end of GameSpot TV/Extended Play. But in 2003, ZDTV, which was now Tech TV, decided it was time to give the show a revamp. They gave it a nighttime slot and completely changed the format of the show. They wanted something a bit more adult to pull in more audience members. This would be the final transformation into the show that we know as X-Play.
X-Play. Oh wait, is that... Boy, does that sound take you back or what? Does that sound take you back or what?
On April 28, 2003, the world was introduced to the new and improved X-Play. The show was given a higher budget, a bigger set, and an actual cast and crew to help improve its quality. Even Sessler himself says in the very first episode, everything has been given a significant upgrade.
We are here in an actual studio. This is like a real TV show with a full production crew. That means we're coming up in the world.
But on top of that, the show also had a brand new style of writing, had a lot more quips and jokes thrown in, and a lot more pop culture references to get the audience's attention, instead of just giving info to you in a factual manner.
Can't you play harder?
Ooh, it's like she's coming on to me. Whatever, Tao Feng. Sounds kind of like Chow Fun.
Tao Feng. I don't remember this game at all.
Wang Chung.
Wang Chung.
It makes me want a Qing Dao. Enough word association. Back to the fighting. While
Oh,
the
it's a
game has
fighting
high
game.
Betty count, it's not like DOA 3's nice-looking girls who made bad life choices. Here, they look like they stepped off a Grace Jones album cover.
Wow. Wow.
And were denied entry to a club.
I'm gonna eat you alive.
Of course, you pop a couple of Qing Daos, and everything can look better.
This is the X-Play you probably remember growing up with. Along with Sessler coming back to host the show, the audience was now introduced to his new co-host, Morgan Webb.
Morgan
a very
Webb!
conventionally attractive woman that also plays video games.
A hot girl that plays video games? It can't be. She also got her. I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna talk about it in this video or not. I don't know if she will. But there was also a magazine at the time called it was either FHM or Maxim. I want to go with Maxim. Right? These are magazines for men. Hot girls articles, women in bikinis, so forth and so on. In one of them, she would give a monthly interview. Like somebody would write a letter to Morgan Webb, and she would answer to it while taking pictures in bikinis. Alright, everybody who watched X-Play back then had a crush on Morgan Webb. Who didn't?
Sorry. A lot of guys that grew up with this show will flat out tell you they watched it just for Morgan Webb because they thought she was hot, creating their first ever parasocial relationships before moving on to VTubers.
He's not wrong. I mean, it doesn't just stop at Morgan Webb. It's with any attractive woman, right? Any celebrity. Farrah Fawcett, I'm pretty sure she had her own stalkers and stuff. There's always some type of stalkers. Parasocial relationship. Although Morgan Webb's not really trying to be like all a boyfriend experience. She's just a host. That's all she saw herself as. That's what I remember.
Morgan for many years to be accused of not even being an actual gamer, because she was a woman. But there's a ton of evidence that points to the contrary. In fact, as you'll soon see, Morgan is perhaps the more generous of the two, and actually reviewed some games honestly and fairly, for the most part. Right now, all you need to know is, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb are the two hosts, and they're going to be giving you all the gaming news and reviews you could need in the early 2000s. For a lot of people back then, they relied solely on these two for their gaming news, so just keep that in mind as we go forward. A lot more attitude was added.
Well, we also had EGM, I want to say GameSpot, the magazine. Man, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
To basically everything, there's always a sort of edginess and bite with some of the quips they were tossing out.
Here's Dion Wei in Dynasty Warriors 3. And here he is in number 4. Looks almost like the same game. If you bought this title on the PS2 6 months ago, you probably won't be impressed. But if you're a novice, or if you simply love to fight the good, mindless, violent fight, Dynasty Warriors 4 is still second to none.
That is one major...
Nah, man, that's why I never got into Dynasty Warriors. That's why I never got into Dynasty Warriors, because it was just the same game over and over again.
Thing I have to give XPlay credit for. Despite being an integral part of gaming journalism back in the day, if they thought your game sucked, they weren't gonna hold back. They didn't really seem to take handouts from publishers. They would rip your game apart and dance on its grave if they didn't like it.
Here's the thing. If the game's crappy, we're not going to lie and say it's good because you wrote us an angry email.
And we'll be telling you the truth about the sequel, too, whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Tech TV turns into G4. It was a weird licensing deal they did with Canada, because I think Tech TV was a Canadian show, and there was another Tech TV or G4 kind of thing in America. And so in order to publish the shows on both sides of the border, they had to merge or something like that.
The structure of the show would usually have a few reviews, maybe a preview or two, and at some point you would get a comedy skit.
Name is what again?
The Human.
I mean, it's a TV show. You gotta have a little comedy, right? I mean, not the greatest. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers and VTubers who do this too, who do reviews. Angry Joe did it for the longest time. You can say Angry Joe got inspired by Tech TV and G4 and XPlay. You know, game reviews with his own opinions and whatnot, and sketches. Not a bad thing as long as the sketches are good and funny.
Human Target.
The Human Target. And why is it you came up with that name?
I have been fragged more than anybody in the history of the internet.
Now, I've mentioned my distaste for review shows having unnecessary skits in them in the past. I can't really fault them because they had to fill up 21 minutes somehow, and well, this is what you would usually get.
Well, I'm not gonna let some stupid game prevent me from a decent, piping human discourse. Meet Slippy. He's my new buddy that I took around my hometown. Slippy and me became fast friends. He loved the view.
XPlay had a lot of reoccurring skits and segments, something to really give the show that kind of flair. You had stuff like Spoiler Theater, where they would talk about the endings of games that had come out in the past and discuss them, or Sessler's Soapbox, where Sessler would get on his high horse, or actually stay on his high horse, and talk about the inner workings of the gaming industry and what was going on at that time. They had segments where they would read emails and posts they would get.
Yeah, I remember the email segments. You said that the presumed Xbox launch title Malice was canceled. Well, in a recent gaming magazine, it said, and I quote, "Against all odds, Malice is still coming out." Is this true, or is this a slip-up?
From the XPlay message boards. They had several top 5 countdowns for multiple topics. They had a segment where they would talk about weird games. They had a section called Games for Cheap Bastards. Probably one of the most poorly aged segments in the entire show, because a lot of the games shown off here now cost...
Right? Box only price $20, loose price $60, graded price $1,500. But yeah, well, it was a different time. It was a different time. Well, you know what's sad about that? Let's go back real fast. The ICO is considered Games for Cheap Bastard. I bet you anything is worth, if you can find one sealed and grade it. Oh my god, that's probably good.
Segments of the entire show, because a lot of the games shown off here now cost. The thing about these segments is that some of them, I noticed, are sort of a precursor to what types of trends would start hitting the internet wave by wave. Remember that time online when top 10s took the internet by storm?
Oh.
WatchMojo milked the shit out of that trend. And with Sessler's Soapbox, well, that's just every video essay now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Look, we can all complain about the way the internet is now, but it all started somewhere. Somebody came up with the idea first, and it was G4, Tech TV, and X-Play.
If anyone remembers the old school screw tag, before they got sent away to the death battle mines for all eternity, watching some of their older stuff, they were most definitely taking cues from X-Play. I hate to say it, but it's true. In a lot of ways, X-Play was ahead of the curve. They were doing things years before they took off online, and it's no wonder after the show's...
Well, see, the thing is, like the guy said earlier, X-Play wasn't beholden to the companies. If they didn't like a game, they said they didn't like the game, and they tore it apart. They felt real, and then more people, as gaming journalism became more encaptured by the game companies, they didn't feel real anymore. Despite I disagree with Angry Joe's politics, I still watch his game reviews because he still says if he likes games or not. I feel like he's still being truthful about his game reviews. And sometimes his skits are entertaining.
Transformation into this, it exploded in popularity. This new format really took off with audiences. It gave the show new life, and it was easily the most popular show Tech TV had at the time. And if you're wondering, yes, of course I grew up with X-Play. I saw a fair share of it in my youth. I had to have discovered it in, I believe, 2005 when I was just 7. The review that stuck in my mind forever.
Oh god, 2005. Oh god, I saw it right into when I was in 2005 and I was 7 years old. Oh my god! I'm old. I'm turning to dust!
Was when they were showing off the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap and centered the mushrooms in the game as if it were a different type of mushroom.
Can we show this?
See, that's what people like. People like realism, like crude humor. But we've become so sanitized that if you try to do this kind of joke on Twitch or anything like that, you get a ban. I'll probably get banned now.
And my dumbass 7-year-old self thought it was actually in the game. The one I definitely remember, and probably a lot of you do too, is the console drop test, where they would drop the 6th-gen consoles from high places to see which ones would survive the impact.
I remember this. And the winner was the GameCube. Xbox didn't last. Oh!
If you were a young teen or adult in the 2000s, you were basically all set with this show. The show had a personality, and that's why people loved it at the time. Perhaps a bit too much of a personality, though. The evolution of GameSpot TV into X-Play is sort of like seeing your young child grow up. And now X-Play at this point was a prepubescent 12-year-old, and he's about to become a teenager. A very rowdy, foul-mouthed, combative, and rebellious teenager. Yeah, it was nice revisiting something from my youth. It is very nostalgic seeing most of this. But as I continue to watch more and more episodes, the further along the show got, that's when things started to crack. Putting the nostalgia aside, I quickly noticed this show had problems. And it had a lot of them.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah.
Banana.
Oh, no!
The following footage contains adult content, KOTOR spoilers, and some stuff that is totally gay.
I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room. This is a show from the early 2000s, and a lot of the humor in this show would absolutely not fly today.
No, it would not.
Mommy, there's a gay in my game.
Oh my god.
The 2000s was the Edge era. It was an era of rebellion, especially in the world of video games, where there was increased scrutiny towards that industry, as a lot of people believed video games were corrupting their youth.
Oh my god. Always. There was always something. Hot coffee was one of the biggest controversies. If you don't remember that one, that was from GTA San Andreas. where the developers left a mini game in the game, but you couldn't access it unless you played it on PC. Oh my god. The modders found it, posted it on the internet. It went viral everywhere. Rockstar had to do recalls of it. Oh, such a stupid time.
And as a middle finger to those groups, a lot of younger people, and shows marketed towards the younger people, said whatever the hell they wanted. It was a different time. So yeah, gay jokes, they're here.
Move along, there's nothing Freudian to see here.
Look at that. I got your tail.
Nothing at all.
Piccolo, do it!
Racist jokes, this show's got them.
Morgan-san.
X-Play! Review X-Play.
In the earlier seasons, it wasn't so
But they knew what they were doing.
bad. Maybe you'd get a crude remark or a dated celebrity reference here and there, but as the show went on, they got more and more prominent. One aspect of this I absolutely cannot ignore is X-Play's comments about one country in particular, the land of the rising sun.
Uh-oh.
Since a lot of video games have come from Japan, X-Play plays a lot of them and had some choice words on the country. And let me tell you, they do not hold back.
Well, we're not exactly sure how, but can you really blame us? Because who knows anything about Japanese history? There were some samurai, they periodically themselves, a rat learned judo, and they invented a religion that sanctifies small trees and fat guys wrestling. Then we nuked them. That's how they turned into a real country. We all know who will replace us.
I mean, she's not wrong. Nah, we love Shintoism around here.
India, that billion-strong faux vegetarian tech support call-taking behemoth of a nation. Or the Chinese. But certainly not Japan, because while they may be technologically advanced and financially powerful, they're already in decline.
You search up people talking about X-Play on social media today, and you will see people posting these clips all the time, showing you how racist and xenophobic the show is, but I'm not gonna act like I haven't seen worse. Here's the thing though, I'm not a Twitter reactionary. You didn't come here to see an opinion you can see any average show post online about. And I think there's a lot more to it than just calling it racist. All these comments about Japan is performative. It's for the camera. It's trying to entertain their teenage and young adult audience. It doesn't stop how offensive it is, but they just didn't care. There's no point in pointing out how offensive it is, because they already know that. Their constant picking on and mocking Japan is a pretty constant throughout the show. If you're gonna...
Yeah, and we act like this is the only time like American TV's done this. Man, ABC had a TV show was called I Survived the Japanese Game Show. 2 seasons of it.
Be offensive on purpose.
You remember the TV show Hole in the Wall? They took that from Japan.
I expect some consistency, but like, sometimes their comments towards Japan don't even make any sense.
Damn it! You guys totally wrecked my shop, and I haven't even named it yet.
Why would you name a shop? Somebody's got to tell the Japanese we don't name shops.
What? We don't name shops? Adam, what the fuck are you talking about?
Now, that doesn't make any sense at all.
This came out of nowhere too, because they ended up really liking Devil May Cry 3. They gave it a 4 out of 5. And yeah, Devil May Cry 3 is a fantastic game. You should go pick a copy up at your local Stop and Mart. I'm not the type of guy who's going to write something off just because it's made to be offensive. But most of the time, the joke isn't even anything unique or creative. Aren't Japanese interests really weird? And don't they have funny accents?
Welcome to Shantung Baby Shack.
And some of these skits, well, I don't know a better way to put this. It's like Nostalgia Critic skits before the Nostalgia Critic existed.
Oh, wow.
I'm afraid you can't escape the studio that easily. I've trapped you in a dream world from which you can never escape. I am Mr. Mixius Pitlick. Some people say Mixoplex, but they're wrong. Who? I'm a supervillain. Don't you recognize me?
What an ego.
I fight Superman all the time. I'm famous.
I'm right here, Blair.
What's your dog's name?
Princess Buttersprinkles.
How's Wolfie? I can hear him really barking.
Wolfie's fine. Where are you?
Blair Butler is dead. I have to go.
Wait! Who's gonna help us assassinate the leaders of the free world? Ooh, I can't wait to stick it to Angela Merkel.
That bitch is no Thatcher.
Seriously.
I know not what you review, but it's something I can never do.
Oh.
Wait, what about the X-Play monkey?
We have a monkey?
It's one thing to make a bunch of edgy jokes at an entire country's expense. It's another thing entirely when this sort of attitude starts to seep into your review process. Another thing that's been said about X-Play
Ooh,
is
Rogue
that
Galaxy.
they had a ginormous bias against Japanese games, or more specifically, anime-based games and RPGs, and this isn't a
Weebs suffer. Weebs are always the ones that suffer. What's wrong with Rogue Galaxy? Rogue Galaxy was a great game.
new sentiment either. Even back in the day, people were writing in and posting on the X-Play boards about how much it was obvious Adam in particular couldn't stand JRPGs, which the show would bring up quite a bit.
Who the hell is this?
Actually, we kind of we cloned you. We made a replacement version of you just in case something happens. He's younger than you. He's more charming than you, definitely. And yeah, he's Adam 2.0.
He's wearing my shirts. He's got my shoes.
Welcome to X-Play. I hate RPGs. I give it a 3 out of 5.
I'm not one to just go off of
Yeah.
public perception and
there's
cherry
a
pick
brother.
clips. And after seeing enough episodes of X-Play and slogging through well over 100 reviews, I can say with 100% certainty, X-Play absolutely had a bias against Japanese games. I cannot tell you how many reviews of RPGs I saw.
Now, as an anime fan, I didn't play a lot of JRPGs. I love Final Fantasy, don't get me wrong. And I liked Rogue Galaxy, but I didn't play a whole lot of JRPGs. Not that I hated them. I just didn't know where they were at.
Where they were called the game weird or boring and then given a pity 3 out of 5. Hell, in some reviews, you can tell they really don't want to review these in the first place, but feel as if they have to, as it's their job.
Brave story, new traveler. It's an RPG. It's an RPG for your PSP. And that's just about all you need to know about it. But since I'm legally obligated to give this game a full review, here goes.
If it's something mainstream...
I mean, what's with the hate of RPG? It feels like they just hate RPGs in general. Well, JRPGs at least. What's wrong with JRPGs? Why do I never understand why JRPGs get all this hate? Why anime games get hate? Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah, I see what you mean. What you meant? Hey, Seth, welcome to the stream. Have you been lurking there this entire time? Waiting for the right moment to pounce? Ready to hit me? Over the head with a pan? Hey, buddy, how you doing, partner? Yeah, I saw this video drop like hours ago, and I wanted to watch it. I started watching it, and I was like, no, I gotta save this. I gotta save this for stream, and I did. I started streaming. I was to watch this because it's such a blast from the past, especially going back to the way beginning of of X-Play, back when it was GameSpot TV. Man, that was a memory trip. They never had it the whole time when it came to Japanese stuff. Once again, weebs are the most disrespected class in the world. Or at least in America.
Like Kingdom Hearts or something action-oriented, they usually get a higher score than that. But don't ever...
But see, that I think once again it comes down to American culture versus Japanese culture, in a sense. Hear me out. In American culture, you can see this with the anime community today, right? Ever since COVID happened, right? American culture is very more action-based culture when it comes to entertainment. That's why everybody was always that's why a lot of anime quote-unquote fans are just generally shonen tards. They love the action. They love seeing all the action, and the sword play, the fights, power-ups, going One Punch Man kind of shit, right? Whereas Japanese, it's not like that. It's different, and I don't know if it's because of I don't know if it's because of differences of religion, like the Shinto, like I've been saying, Shinto versus Judeo-Christian, or differences in ideology of freedom versus whatever Japan had. Because Japan, you gotta remember, Japan was very feudal. Was very feudal, even up into they didn't stop being feudal until after World War II, right? America wasn't feudal since 1776. So, they had an extra 200 years of the whole feudal system. So yeah, it could be that. I don't know.
We're expected to nominate something with a Japanese anime or RPG influence for Game of the Year. Yeah, I know turn-based RPGs aren't for everyone, but as the series went on, it feels as if they grew spiteful towards RPGs and anyone who played them. Their review of Baten Kaido's Origins is probably one of the worst reviews I've ever seen. I mean, just look at this garbage.
One of the few RPG refugees that made it to the GameCube's purple shores was Baten Kaido's Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean. Lucky for all 27 of you people who bought it, there's now a prequel, Baten Kaido's Origins. I'll write the story. Let me guess.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I had a GameCube, and the combat did not interest me. Look, I love Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy 7. I love Final Fantasy 8. My favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 9. All right, but the combat system in this series did not interest me at all.
It's probably a young hero with some sort of memory problem who's fighting a vastly overwhelming Evo Fascio magical empire.
It's too soon to reveal my hand.
And now Adam Sessler promotes fascism.
Oh, you're wearing
allegedly
really takes the edge off the evil mastermind thing. Cliche burden boy of action who will save us all is named Sagi.
This is kind of overdue, but I'm Sagi.
Rhymes with Saki. Saki!
Oh yeah, this clip.
I could use a lot of right now.
This clip.
Sagi!
Saki! Does it count as sexual harassment if her wings were asking for it? You can chain the cards together to add maximum damage, but like any card-oriented game, you're at the mercy of Lady Luck. That bitch. There are new...
See, that's the thing I didn't like about it, was the card deck building thing. As much as I love Kingdom Hearts, I summon Sagi the Dark Clown. As much as I love Kingdom Hearts, I'm still not a fan of Chain of Memories. Even the Game Boy version. Even the Game Boy version, I'm not a fan of because of the card system mechanic. And that might be because of, like I said, it might be because of the American upbringing. Maybe you should replay it again. Nope, I will not. I mean, I played it, right? I know how it ends. I even played Riku's story back when it came out on the GBA. Only because I wanted to see. I wanted to figure out who the fuck was that blonde hair kid that they teased so hard. It's like, who the fuck is this kid? Are they gonna get any more story? And I only had that one still frame. I was like, oh my god. They didn't tell me anything. But it explains why Sora was asleep.
Tweaks to the card system, but the changes don't go deep enough to really...
Yeah, this was a weird era in gaming, especially in RPGs, where they added a deck battle system to the game, where you had to use a deck to play. And I didn't like that about this series. And this one on the GameCube. I mean, I thought it was the weakest system, too, till you play Days. Yeah, 365 or 362 Days, yeah, that's worse. That's worse. I don't know what the hell they were thinking of that one. But it was so grind heavy.
Make a difference.
Sagi!
Saki! Will you shut up about Sagi?
Sagi!
Saki! 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 Baten Kaido's origin is an art.
I mean, am I lagging? It feels like I'm lagging. Anyways, I guess I'm not. Honestly, making fun of somebody's name because it sounds similar to something else. Well, I mean, if you like legit hate this type of game, right, and you just want to make fun of it, that's fine. It's probably not the right thing to do, but it's fine. I'm not gonna hate on him because he's like, oh, I just don't like these type of games. I don't like Japanese JRPGs. So it's just Saki. I'm not heavy in Japan, and that's fine. It's like getting mad. It's getting mad at somebody who's not that big into Mexico, and they call all Mexican. They call everybody Juan. Hey, everybody from Mexico is named Juan. It's not true, but it's funny. You just become what we call now a video game donkey. Is all exactly.
RPG for the GameCube. That about says it all. A 3. Sucky! Sucky! Out of 5.
Three out of 5? You did all that. You barely even reviewed the fucking game, and you're giving it a 3 out of 5? The thing is, they weren't like this when they were still GameSpot TV and Extended Play. They treated JRPGs like any other game, and would give...
Really? Well, GameSpot TV and Extended Play wouldn't last as long as X-Play. I wonder where this hate came from. Because a 10 out of 10 for this, obviously a JRPG right there. That's interesting.
Give them praise if they were actually good. If there's one group that X-Play did despise with a burning passion, that would be the nerds. And it doesn't matter your race, gender, or sexual orientation, you can be a nerd regardless of your background.
Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd, and I'm angry. Ah!
These were the people who were usually enjoying the RPGs and Japanese media that X-Play constantly shat on, and were also the ones browsing the X-Play boards and calling them out for their biases. X-Play made it their mission to let these nerds know they didn't care what they thought, and that they were losers.
Last review of the show, and what a doozy it is. See, we get a lot of hate mail.
It used to mostly come from the Dragon Ball Z fans.
Then it came from the Inuyasha fans.
And now, most of it comes from the Full Metal Alchemist fans.
They hate us because we didn't like the first Full Metal Alchemist game, and we said one of the characters looked like a robot in a loincloth.
You have to buy your own...
Oh my god! One of the characters looks like a robot in a loincloth. Holy shit! What a normie take! What a Get kept! Oh! Okay, pull up a picture of Alfonso. All right, hold on. I gotta. Oh. It's a suit of armor. It's a suit of armor, for crying out loud. Images. There. Here we go. It's just a suit of armor. Also, technically, this is a show to... Well, X-Play's not going to care about the tech. X-Play's not going to care about the actually. It's they're like it's a giant robot with a loincloth. It doesn't look cool. That's hilarious.
Matt with
the game, and we said
Full Metal Alchemist fans.
They hate us because we didn't like the first Full Metal Alchemist game, and we said one of the characters looked like a robot in a loincloth.
You have to buy your own mat with the game, but once you got it, the fun never stops. Until the guy who's been playing Final Fantasy for like 7 years, when he gets up off his couch and then he starts to dance, and then he has a heart attack, and then he dies. RPG.
Damn. Look, even nerds gotta exercise. You should be happy they're exercising.
Fans are a special breed. They're hardcore gamers who think nothing of sinking 40 hours into a video game.
And that's why the RPGs made for them still sell, even if they have confusing titles or dated graphics. It's all about the journey.
Yes, parents will never...
Oh yeah, it is about the journey, you jackasses. It's the story. Yes, the game takes 40 hours to beat, like that's a full week of work. But it's such a compelling story. They're always crying about stories nowadays and how, look at The Last of Us. Look at The Last of Us, right? Jesus Christ.
Never understand your irresistible urge to sit around a table in your basement with pewter figurines, or your constant use of the word halfling. RPG Maker 3 is the latest installment in the only franchise devoted to making the dreams of lonely, Cheeto-stained boys come to life.
Jeez Louise. They pretty much calling out incel culture before incels were even a thing. Jesus Christ. Dated. Meanwhile, there's several other games that are more dated than the JRPG. Right. Last of Us definitely gets dated when you play it 10 years later. It was dated when it came out. I played The Last of Us. I didn't like it.
Joining us on a very special occasion, our celebration of all.
Then again, I don't like horror games, so that could be a reason why. There's slight horror elements to it.
Boys come to life. You're joining us on a very special occasion, our celebration of all things Final Fantasy.
Whoa. I thought we hated Final Fantasy.
No, we hate Final Fantasy fanboys. Totally different thing.
Okay, so it's still okay for me to hate guys who dress up as Riku.
Yeah, it's actually a job requirement. Did you read the employee handbook?
I can't read.
Since the very start of the X-Play...
Well, we don't get mad about girls who dress up as Riku. Games that focus on graphics get dated when the next console. You're right. And honestly, Seth, there's also games that are coming out nowadays that use the dated look format as an advantage. Like Crow Country. We played Crow Country not too long ago, right? That game looks like it comes from a PlayStation 1 game, but it's still good.
Play rebranding, they were finding ways to crap on fans of anime or fans of Final Fantasy or RPGs. Speaking of,
which is so weird because that's your core audience. You're attacking your core audience. Your core audience are those nerds. Meanwhile, love it or hate it, Overwatch still isn't dated even today. Well, because we hit a graphics gap. I mean, how much it give Overwatch its due. It has its look. It has its art direction, right? But we've hit a graphics gap. I don't think we're gonna get more technologically advanced in graphics until we make something like a true virtual reality where you got a needle stuck into the back of your neck, and you're able to jack into the Matrix. Which that's how animes can feel. Yeah. Yes, you nailed it right there. That's how the art design. Exactly. That's how the art is designed. It's not realistic. Ori will never look dated because the art design. Right. The only thing that could probably date Ori is performance issues.
Of which I have to bring up the X-Play review of Crisis Core. Like I said, if X-Play didn't like your game, they did not hold back, and that goes for Crisis Core.
Well, to be fair to Crisis Core and to G4, Crisis Core is not that really great of a Final Fantasy game. Like, I really didn't like the battle system. I didn't like the roulette system they had in it. I don't like the limited material system they have. The mission system, I didn't like that. I did like the story. Don't get me wrong. I love the story. Finding out more about Sephiroth and Jill, and especially Zack. But the rest of it, I was just like, this is not that great. If you were to have a performance issue for Ori and the Hollow Knight in the future, that means Microsoft really fucked up. I mean, it's possible. I mean, look, Seth, they're releasing a what was it? A Switch 2 version of Hollow Knight, which has better performance. So, can't say that.
They were not very kind to it.
If a game features good-looking guys and incredibly stupid dialogue, you know it came from Japan.
Hello to you, too!
Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII is a prequel that stars a minor character from the original PlayStation game, who now gets his own rich, detailed story.
And?
The only problem is, it's a terrible story.
What? What? Get the fuck out of here! You're done! You're done! See, that's what I'm talking about. They attacked their core fan base. When they attacked the core fan base, they started losing ratings. Because this show was big. Don't think X-Play was big in the nerd world, in the gaming world. It was big. Everybody went to X-Play to see the next review. But when they start attacking the core fans, that's when they really started losing the plot. There's a lot of people who don't like Final Fantasy VII, right? I mean, like I said, I love Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 myself. You know, those were the first Final Fantasy games I played. I went back and played Final Fantasy 6. I played Final Fantasy 5. Hell, I tried Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 2 is fucking hard. I knew. But out of all those I don't like Final Fantasy 10. I hate the spear grid in Final Fantasy 10. There's one boss on Final Fantasy 10 that really pisses me off because the only way to beat the boss is to use a summon. Right? You have to use a summon to survive the death attack. Like, that's stupid. I shouldn't have to use a summon to survive the death attack. That's my opinion. You don't like it? Too bad. Look what he said about Aerith's death. Which game? 9? No, Final Fantasy 10. I don't like Final Fantasy 10. I never got to play Final Fantasy 11 because online, and I wasn't paying $15 a month to play online. Final Fantasy 12, God, that story was boring. The battle system was okay, but God, that story was boring. 13, I skipped. I played 14. 15. Oh, let's not talk about 15. That 15 never should have came out, honestly. It's funny, but no.
That dialogue is poorly written and awkwardly delivered. Maybe the script makes perfect sense to the Japanese, but to our ears, it reeks of cliche. Also, if you are a nostalgia junkie, this is the game for you.
It's over.
But for those...
It's not a nostalgia junkie. It's telling a story that leads up to the main story that people loved.
Who aren't already steeped in the rich tradition of the series, the dull combat system and crappy dialogue is as disposable as a purple turtleneck. Why? Man, Shinra really needs to redesign those outfits. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII gets a 2.
Thanks.
Out of 5.
I'm sorry, but I'm with Adam says that the combat system is not fun. It's not fun. Especially, I know they were trying to go for a different system than compared to the original Final Fantasy VII system, but they should have made it more like Kingdom Hearts. The combat system, that is. Thank God they died out before Xenoblade.
This review got them a ton of backlash at the time. So much so that for an April Fool's joke the later year, they went back and dubbed over the review to give it a 6 out of 5 instead.
Final Fantasy VII is a prequel that stars a
exciting
character from the original PlayStation game, who now gets his own rich, detailed story. The only problem is...
the story is too good. Thanks.
That dialogue is
awesomely
written and
awesomely
delivered. Maybe the script makes perfect sense to the Japanese, but to our ears, it reeks of
award-winning material.
But for those who aren't already steeped in the rich tradition of the series, the
exciting
combat system and
glorious
dialogue is as
indispensable
as a purple turtleneck. Man, Shinra really needs to
sell.
Yeah, the slots were not good.
At the Gap.
Slots were
Crisis
bad.
Core Final Fantasy VII gets a
6. Thanks.
Out of 5.
It is an April Fool's video. That's what he just said, Seth. That a year after the initial review came out, which got super backlash, for an April Fool's joke, they redubbed it, and that's what you just listened to.
As the years went on, it really feels like the people at X-Play started doing most of the reviews out of spite instead of actually giving the games a fair chance. Look, I know fanboys can be annoying. I know that. But don't forget that the last episode of Extended Play was Adam Sessler out and about interviewing LARPers, and he didn't seem to have a problem with it. But oh no, in X-Play, he has to interview Final Fantasy cosplayers, and he acts like he's about to die.
Yes, we have cosplaying Final Fantasy fans.
You know what I think happened? What I think happened? Because it used to be Tech TV. Hold on, let's watch this clip real fast.
Horror.
Oh, but we have other stuff too.
And no, I don't really think it's because they're racist and hate the Japanese. That's too easy. It's not like they're consistent with that shtick either, as once in a while they'll break character and give a Japanese RPG a really high score.
Few games have held on to their roots while expanding their world like Dragon Quest. At the end of the night, you'll want to save the last dance for this game. That's why we're giving Dragon Quest VIII for the PS2 5 kisses out of 5.
Well, that's weird.
Thanks for the memories.
Another review I saw when I was young was Okami, and this was actually my first exposure to the game. And let me tell you, Okami is in my top 5 favorite games. It's amazing. And it's also one of the most Japanese games in existence. It's based in historic Japan with huge themes relating to Japanese mythology.
You know, I've never played Okami. Never.
Not to mention, the art style is cel-shaded and based on old Japanese style art. This is as Japanese as you can get. And well, with all the comments X-Play's made about Japan, they must have hated it.
What's that, Okami? Morgan fell down a well? In the well, she discovered a race of subterranean people who have forced her to be their queen? And you want a 5 out of 5? Oh, you always know the right thing to say. Okami gets a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. The most Japanese game you can possibly play, and they gave it a perfect score.
I mean, it deserves it, but...
So I'm not gonna chuck all these shots at Japan and weeaboos as just because they hate Japan. I think this is actually about the shifting tides that was going on in the gaming industry. Like I mentioned at the start of the...
That's what I'm saying. I think... because you gotta remember... Am I echoing? Yeah, you gotta remember... Before G4 became G4, it was Tech TV. And then when the merger happened, I think the new owners of G4 made changes to the series. The corporate head said, hey, we want you to go more in this direction with your show. Or we're going to cut funding. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming.
The video. The late 90s and early 2000s was the period when gaming was going from a niche geeky hobby for kids and nerds and was now slowly becoming the juggernaut it is today. Games were getting more advanced and could now break the boundaries for what the medium could be, and people were taking notice. In 2001 alone, you had stuff like Halo Combat Evolved, Grand Theft Auto 3, showing the world what video games were capable of, and very quickly, more and more people were filling into the hobby. Video games were cool now. It just...
this is what I'm talking about. It's like the anime of the 2020s, right? And the anime of 2020, before 2020, anime was very niche. And it was super niche, but it was niche, right? After 2020, all the normies got into it. The same thing with video games, right? On video games, it was just the nerds. The nerds played video games. No adult played video games. And then the PlayStation 2 happened. And all of a sudden, all the normies came in. The normies wanted to play games like Halo, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, things like that. They didn't want... If you played a JRPG or an anime game, what are you? A PDF file? Nah, even without being told, hey, Japan says still hated the anime things on Twitter. I'm talking about the show. He probably always did, but I'm talking about the show. Because even in the show, the guy said, back when it was GameSpot TV, they were giving anime games 10 out of 10s, right? Now, while Adam Sessler may have always not liked Japanese stuff, I'm not looking at something on X while I'm on stream, Seth, unless it's super safe. You know this. But that's the point. I think whenever Tech TV became G4, he got somebody that agreed with him and told him, hey, you can go all out. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It better be Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know, just to be safe, I'm going to do it off stream. Huh. That's I don't know how I feel about this. The red eyes, white dragon. Blue eyes, black dragon. Just don't click home. I'm not gonna click home. I ain't that crazy. I don't know how I feel about that.
just wasn't for geeks anymore. But because video games were becoming mainstream, that means a lot of people were only coming in for those games that were catching people's eyes. They had no real interest in the more niche ones. You could now play—
See? He just echoed what I just said. Like I said, in 2020, when anime was a niche thing, right? And then all of a sudden, all the normies came in and took over. Same thing happened in video games. Video games was such a niche thing. It was only a kid's thing or a nerd thing. And then the PlayStation 2 happened, and that brought in the normies.
Play video games without being labeled as a geek. However, now you had to play only the socially acceptable games. The games that made you look like a cool adult. It was so the people playing them could have a hobby while also keeping their social status, and they didn't want anything to tarnish that. So what happens when you gravitate towards something that wasn't inside that box? More like something that was made in Japan and made for people who enjoyed Japanese culture. Well, that's gay! Why would you want to play that? Why would anyone want to play that? Video games were now appealing to a much, much wider audience of people who really cared about what people thought of them, and so they usually stuck to mainstream AAA games. And this was now the audience X-Play was appealing to, the type that only really cared for the mainstream stuff. They were profiting off of the sudden boom in gaming that was going on, the stuff that made gaming look cool and awesome, and well, anime games and RPGs usually had influence from different anime and manga, which was cartoonish by nature, and well, cartoons are for children, and therefore if you liked them, you were childish and or gay. Just finding ways to crap on anime—
What else does that sound like? What else does that sound like?
Games and anime fans any chance they get is so strange considering who their original audience was. Like, you can look back on Tech TV bumpers and see them advertising anime marathons right before an episode of X-Play. Hell, right at the end of an episode of Extended Play, you can see right there at the bottom of the fucking screen, open your eyes and enter an amazing world of classic Japanese anime. Stay tuned for Anime Unleashed. Tech TV was appealing to that audience. The network was airing anime for those anime nerds and was talking about geeky tech stuff. And now X-Play was calling them huge losers because that's what their new audience saw them as.
A recent study shows that some fanboys are scarier than others. Now sure, we have alienated the Final Fantasy fans, and we've alienated the Pokemon fans. But why not dig ourselves in deeper by alienating the Dragon Ball Z fans?
Because they frighten us and they write hate mail and they criticize the way I pronounce Super Saiyan.
Five emails right there.
X-Play tossed out their catering—
You know, I remember that being a flame war. How do you say Super Saiyan? It's not Super Saiyan. It's Super Jaiyan. I'm like, oh, shut up.
to nerds and started appealing to a new audience. The newest breed of gamer, the Dude Bro. The guy who wishes to not have his masculinity shattered by being perceived as childish, so they mock what doesn't appeal to them, and so X-Play started doing the same. They like guns, and they like boobies, so they started showing all that off in the show. When you sexualize fictional women, it's cringe.
Oh, and your requisite assortment of sexy cat women and lizard people. Seriously, what's up with the feline fetish? It's like an entire island nation of message board perverts.
When I sexualize fictional women, it's cool.
We all know that sometimes ladies in games are generously proportioned.
Yeah, they have big boobs. Scary, oversized twin zeppelins flying in the sky boobs. Here's a closer look at that. As if you needed one. They're huge.
Yes, they are.
It shows you the faith they have in their audience when they think they don't want to read.
You have to go to the very first novel.
You should know this quote that I bring back. Hi, I'm Paul. Yeah, it's from Jimmy Neutron.
From feudal Japan, The Tale of Genji.
But if you aren't in the mood to read a 1,000-page novel, consider playing the game based on it.
If you want more evidence that's how things were perceived back in the day, we're going to switch the channel for a minute.
That's the way it is getting now too. Like I said with anime, you ain't cool unless you're not a true anime fan unless you only watch Dragon Ball Z, Demon Hunter or Demon Slayer, all that other shit you watch. That just makes you a PDF file. Remember that they also kink shame anime men as well. Meanwhile, they go all gay for Gyrus. But I'm just saying. I'm just here showing you that history repeats. History repeats. This is not the first time. We got ads coming up in 3 minutes, y'all. So we're gonna pause. Let's pause here, reflect, and take a pee haul. I hope y'all having a good time with this video. I'm having a good time. I'm actually having a blast in this past because I can't. There's nothing you can change about it. This is the past. We can't do anything about the past. All we can do is learn from it look for it in the future and hopefully change, not change the future, but steer the future in the right direction. Oh, it better be safe, Seth. You know what? Once again, whenever Seth sends me something, I have to look at it off stream. Oh, Garrus from this is safe. It's weak. I don't give a damn, Seth. I don't give a damn. I seen the way you troll Benio. You could troll me too. Can I even click on this? I can't. Can I zoom in on it? I cannot. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, not Seth. Not only that, but the bear too. You remember the bear from close that one. Let me close that one. Go ahead, close that one. See, look, there you go again. You know what? It's funny when you did that on Benio's stream. I knew exactly what you were doing. I knew exactly what you're doing. It's like, oh Lord, he's doing another Simpsons quote. Another Simpsons quote. Baldur's Gate. Look what they did in Baldur's Gate, right? You're not cool unless you like the bear sex, right? You have to like the bear sex to be cool. Oh, you want big titty anime girls? Nah, you just a big old PDF file because they look like kids. Oh my God. Insert Rick and Morty scene there. Right? Right? Well, while the ads play, this is gonna be a members only thing because we're gonna hit ads. We're gonna on a separate tab look at the Nintendo Direct. I watched it earlier. There wasn't a whole lot there, so you're not gonna be missing anything. We'll see you in 3 minutes, folks. As soon as the ads start. All the money they spent to make this intro, right? This intro here, the money they spent, the time they spent to make this intro, and they couldn't make a better Metroid Prime 4. Meanwhile, they're doing the meme that started during that year. What meme? Wait, that's a Nintendo intro? I thought it was a Nick intro. No, it's a Nintendo intro. Oh, you know the choose the bear or man meme when we were doing? Oh yeah. Did you see that one Twitter post, Seth? Ads haven't started yet. I'm gonna force start the ads. That way we just there they go. There you go. Ads have started. Anyways, did you see that what I say? That one Twitter feed where this woman had a snow leopard come up behind her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a selfie with a snow leopard because it's just a big cat. It's not gonna do anything to me." She took the picture, and the thing damn near took her life. It took 4 men to come save her. I can't believe this is a game.
Was suddenly struck by
I cannot believe this is a game.
15 years later, its survivors are living peacefully.
Look at this art style. Look at this art style. It's so cool. It's such a throwback to the. Oh my God! I'm back in 1980.
And Omura, 2 young explorers, must now brave galactic dangers and save all that's left of their home. Teamwork is key in this 2-player co-op adventure.
The background.
You need a few tools to survive.
The tech.
The scrap hook grabs and moves platforms. So
It looks so. It feels like such a fucking 80s anime.
The liquid launcher blasts water to activate mechanisms.
I love this.
And cool down scorching surfaces. And the beam cannon fires a stream of super hot heat to destroy obstacles, open doors, and more. Use the tools together, and you might discover unexpected solutions to puzzles. While exploring, you can encounter strange life forms, or opt for a detour and take a little travel break. With GameShare, 2 players can adventure together locally or online if one person has the game. Can these 2 brave explorers save their home? Orbitals launches exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system this summer.
That is so fucking cool! How fucking cool is that? I love it. I'm sad that it's on it as a Switch 2 exclusive. Like, no, you need to bring this to the PC. This is so fucking cool. I love it. You should just stay in the car like those African safari tours. Yeah. Well, I think she was out skiing when it was happening. Like, she was out skiing on the mountains when that happened. Just because the lions came close to you doesn't mean you should pet it. That's people have forgotten that wild animals are wild. They think they can turn anything into a pet. I mean, no offense to the squirrel guy, right? But even squirrels can go feral. They're not pets they're not considered pets for a reason. But welcome back, everybody, from the P Hall. We just watched the trailer to Orbitals, a game exclusive that's going exclusive to Switch 2. It has 80 anime style artwork. It looks phenomenal. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the X Play. And I don't want the Western critics will hate on because of anger. And yes, just to own the nerds. We're gonna own you, nerds. You fucking nerds. Only time you can pet it if it's your pet, but make sure it stays away from strangers. Exactly. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't deal with wild animals. But alright, let's get back to X-Play and the next chapter.
In 2003, there was the first ever Spike TV Game Awards. Yes, this is the exact same Game Awards Jeff Keighley has been hosting every year, but it was much different back in 2003. Gaming was now popular enough that it could now have its own Oscars, and for this very first one, they went all out. We got celebrities and rappers galore, sneak peeks at upcoming games for the bros, with them showing off the main character's polygonal ass. But we're gonna ignore all of that, and we're gonna focus on what we came here for. What game wins Game of the Year 2003? 2003 was a pretty good year for video games. We had stuff like Wind Waker and Knights of the Old Republic, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Toy Hawk's Underground. These are all fantastic games, and any one of them could have won Game of the Year at this award show. But who was the one to take home the trophy? Well, the answer is none of them. 10 games were nominated for Game of the Year at this show, and you want to know what game ends up winning?
The winner for the Game of the Year,
Madden 2004? What? Get the hell out! Oh my god. And zookeepers gonna show off videos of them booping their nose because their cat saw them as when they were kids. Yes. KOTOR is nice. Oh, KOTOR is amazing. That explains the death threats.
2004 EA Sports.
Madden 2004. A football game, according to the Spike TV Game Awards, was the best game to come out in 2003. Knights of the Old Republic and Wind Waker ain't got shit on some John Madden football.
Okay, all right. Let's rewind that back a bit. All right. Wind Waker, when it came out, was shitted on by almost everybody. Even Nintendo fanboys were mad at Wind Waker. All right? Because it didn't look realistic enough. They wanted realism in their game. Wind Waker is an amazing game. I wish Wind Waker had like 2 more dungeons in it. It feels like it should have 2 more dungeons in it. But because it was cel shaded, because of its cartoony aspect, they shat on it because of. But you know what? You want to know something funny, Seth? I remember the X-Play review for the Wind Waker, and Adam Sessler praised the artwork. He was like, "Yeah, this artwork is really, really good. This artwork fits this game." In fact, I want to say he gave it a 4 out of 5, but he praised the artwork to this game, to Wind Waker. But back in like what's happening now, anime now, right? You're a weirdo if you like the things that's not quote unquote mainstream or quote unquote manly. You have to be football. People were, yeah, I remember the tech, exactly. The tech demo came out and everybody thought, this is the next Zelda. This is the next Zelda we're getting. This is going to be fantastic. It looks so realistic. We'll play it for chat. Let's play it for chat. I know. Where's my mouse? My mouse is over here. We'll play it for chat. That's what people were expecting from the next Zelda. Then when Wind Waker was announced, that tech demo was the worst thing Nintendo had ever showed for the GameCube. I know what they're trying to show, right? But that had people hyped up for the next Zelda game. They had just gotten Majora's Mask, which was a darker, more adult story to the Legend of Zelda series. So when that trailer hit, they're like, "Oh my god, this is the next direction that we're going into the Legend of Zelda. Another dark adult story in the Legend of Zelda series." But when the art style and cel shading came out, that ruined a lot of people's perspective and quote unquote ruined the Wind Waker. Now that it's been years and people have looked back, they're like, "Oh shit, the Wind Waker is a really, really good game."
How did this game win? Well, it's simple. It's what the gaming industry perceived as socially acceptable. It was a popularity contest more than anything, so they picked the safest option possible. Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe anyone who voted Madden 2004 as Game of the Year does not deserve human rights. I mean, at least give credit to X-Play. They at least gave it a Knights of the Old Republic that year. And if you think I'm...
See, nice here. Moment when Twilight Princess came out because of the Twilight, the book, they were like, what is this gay dark story? No, because the Nintendo fanboys were happy again because the game looked more adult and more cool. But then KOTOR is a Western RPG. Well, yeah, I know, but it's not Madden 04.
I'm just saying all this because I was one of those weebs they were picking on and hasn't gotten over it. Hey, listen, I was too young to know what any of this shit was. In the early 2000s, I was watching fucking Hamtaro and playing Bing Bing Wahoo on my Game Boy Advance. Little Hamster's Big Adventures. I didn't know anime was specifically animation in Japan. I didn't even know what RPG meant. I thought RPGs were the guns that went boom.
I'm sorry, that was funny. The random Hamtaro reference was hilarious. I'm not saying it's bad though. I'm saying they would choose. Oh yeah. I get what you're saying, Seth. But it's still a better choice than Madden 04.
I wouldn't get into them until much, much later. But when there's a bias, there's a bias. And it really sucks too, because I'm not gonna lie. There are some actual entertaining reviews and skits on this show. Like when they're reviewing a game that's actually bad, it's really funny.
Red Eye. Red Eye. Not the chair, Red Eye. Come on, bark like a dog.
Little dog? Arf! Arf! Or big dog? Woof! Woof!
That's probably the stuff most people remember. I'm not gonna sit here and act like the entire show is just...
Well, not every joke's gonna hit, you know? Not every skit's gonna be great, you know? I mean, credit to the nostalgia critic, there were some stuff that he did that was actually entertaining. Now, if you look back at it now, it's kind of cringe, but at the time, it was entertaining. So, you know, it's not always going to hit. It's not always going to be good. As long as it's entertaining at the time. Now, is it good to go back now to watch it? Probably not, because it's probably one of those things you had to be there moments. But that's fine. Look, I will not play Aquaman. Look, it's like if you went back and tried to watch Sanford and Son, right? I would never get Sanford. I would never understand Sanford and Son because I didn't watch it. I didn't understand. It's not my time. But the people who were there were like, "Oh, you had to be there to understand it." No, I would not. What do you mean Xbox? You know, Nintendo 64, Superman 64. Seth, Superman 64 was not on the Xbox. You lose your nerd credit, partner. Give me your nerd card and go sit in the corner. Xbox Superman 64. Aquaman was on the Xbox.
Dated garbage with no substance. There is some stuff to enjoy here, but let me put it like this. As a television show meant to entertain the audience, it passes with flying colors. As an actual professional gaming outlet you listen to see what new games that are coming out that you should get, it's pitiful. And it's not just in regards to just appealing to the Dude Bro audience, because even with that, they still faltered. In 2007, X-Play was live streaming the Microsoft E3 conference. This is how a lot of people actually caught this live.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Aquaman is Xbox's Superman 64. Yes, I agree. Look, it's Jeff Keighley! Look, it's Jeff Keighley! Holy fucking shit!
Just appealing to the Dude Bro audience, because even with that, they still faltered. In 2007, X-Play was live streaming the Microsoft E3 conference. This is how a lot of people actually caught this live stream, as the internet hadn't been fully adopted in 2007. But needless to say, X-Play absolutely blew it. Throughout several times in the live stream, they had to cut to commercial break, cutting out huge chunks of the conference. And while the stream was showing off Halo 3, by far the most anticipated game of the event, they cut to commercial break.
6 and 27.
Oh! Oof! Oof! That's the problem with being network television, though. That's the problem with being network television. You have contracts that you have to do. If you're a network television, you have a contract that you have to show so many commercials per hour. So, oh right, you missed Beanie reacting to Geoff on Fox News. Oh no, I did miss that. If you have a clip of it, I'll watch it.
These mild-mannered reporters will don their spandex and face an army of celebrities.
If you want any more proof that X-Play's actual reviews had no weight whatsoever, they gave Devil May Cry 2 a 4 out of 5. Well, Extended Play did, but it was still Sessler and the writers at the end of the day. According to the people over there, Devil May Cry 2 is on the same level as Devil May Cry 3 and Kingdom Hearts 2. At least they gave God Hand an actual worthwhile score. But that would also mean Devil May Cry 2 is on the same level as God Hand.
Oh my
I
God.
rest my case.
Oh my God.
Now imagine this going on for the next several years, leaving the 2000s behind and going into the 2010s, where things started to fall apart.
Oh, Ooh! I hated getting this screen while I was playing my PS2. I hated getting this. I had several games my PS2, when my PS2 was dying, oh my God. Not a clip on Beanie, but here's a vid he watched. Uh-oh. Well, alright, Seth. Alright, well, let's check it out.
Don't you understand? You've lost. Everyone you know and love. Everyone you will all die.
Let's finish this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. I was looking at it a little bit this afternoon. It's a new role-playing video game that is leaving nothing to the imagination. Mass Effect is what it's called. It's made for Microsoft's Xbox system, and it features in some parts of this, you'll see full digital nudity. Imagine. And the ability for the players to engage in graphic sex, and the person who's playing the game gets to decide exactly what's going to happen between the two people, if you know what I mean. Now, the game is rated M for mature.
Yes!
However, critics say that Mass Effect is being marketed to kids and to teenagers.
No, it's... no, oh my God. Fucking critics. Oh, Karens. Always the Karens. Remember the sex box, which you don't see in public regions? Yeah.
Microsoft responded to these claims and said that they were inaccurate. They released this statement that reads in part, "We actively support and abide by all video game rating systems and provide built-in industry-leading technology such as parental controls and a family timer that empowers parents and caregivers to monitor their children's experience with video games."
And the parents never do it. They never monitor the kids what they're doing, and then they get mad, and then everybody else has to suffer for their laziness.
With respect to content, online interactions, and the amount of time spent playing. Cooper Lawrence is a psychology specialist, radio talk show host, and the author of the new book, The Cult of Perfection. And Jeff Keighley is a game expert with Spike TV. Welcome to Cooper. It sort of cracks me up whenever I hear a company say that, there's all these controls in there that you can monitor the time and you can, but basically Pandora's box is open. I mean, kids have access to these things, and unless you're hovering over them every second, they're going to find ways to see this stuff on the internet.
Yes, they are. They are. That's why you got to be a parent and do your job. And then, as well as be an adult and explain to them why you shouldn't be looking at the stuff or what's going to happen. You guide your kids because eventually they're going to make their own decisions. Look. There's plenty of parents out there who raise their kids full-on Bible thumpers, right? And then what happens? The kids turn into atheists. It happens, and sometimes the kids follow the parents' teachings, become Bible thumper themselves. I know. You look so young.
Well, the thing is, it's the whole concept of 13-year-olds have never seen Playboy because they're not supposed to. It's that idea that, let's talk about who the video game is for. It might be for adults, but if you look at the statistics, who is playing video games but adolescent males, not their dads? So that's the first thing. The damage is this. We know that all the research shows that violence...
Look at that frame rate. Look at that frame rate.
Effect. Well, sexuality does too, because this is when the developing mind is happening. This is when they're first deciding who they're going to be, who their identity is. This is when social development is happening. And here's how they're seeing women. They're seeing them as these objects of desire, as these, hot bodies. I mean, they don't show women as being valued for anything other than their sexuality.
Oh my God, such a fucking Karen. That's a fucking Karen. It's a video game. It's not real. Yes, it's an ideological way of looking at women, right? But it's still just fantasy. And your parents have to teach them, hey, this isn't real. I remember during the FNAF craze, my niece was watching YouTube videos of FNAF content, right? And there was this one guy. He was like, hey guys, hey man, I just ordered a pizza for Friday Nights at Freddy's. I bet Friday Nights at Freddy's gonna come out, and then all of a sudden you hear a big old knock on the door. What was that? He opens the door. There's nothing here. There's a box on the floor. Oh my god, it's pizza from Freddy's Fancy Fazbear's. My niece believed it was a goddamn real thing. She thought it was like, oh my god, look, it's real. It's like, no, I had to laugh. I was like, no, it's not real. It's fake. It's make-believe. Kids will believe whatever they want to believe. You just have to teach them not to believe in it. Tell them it's made up. It's fake. It's not real. There's no such thing as killer robots.
And it's a man in this game deciding how many women he wants to be with.
All right, let's get Jeff in on this.
All right, that's
go ahead,
completely
Jeff.
incorrect.
It's a
Yeah,
man!
Correct. First of all, you can actually play as a man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
Right, well, I think the fact is you talked about, another thing that you mentioned is that how it's, has full graphic nudity. That's completely incorrect. There's no full nudity in this game. There's the side of an alien boob which can be seen. It's a small sexual situation in
It's
this
a
game,
butt.
which is about 2
It's a
minutes
butt.
out of a 30-plus hour experience
And
through
Jeff,
the
let me
story of
ask
this
you
character,
something.
Commander Shepard.
Jeff, let me ask you a question. I have not played this game. I went on the website today. I clicked on a lot of different trailers. I tried to learn as much about it as I could before we did this. You know, it's interesting. When you click on it, it asks you your age. It says you must go through a scanning process. So I thought, oh, this is going to take forever. Okay, so I put in my age, and then boom, you're in, no problem. So that is a pretty easy screen to get past. There's nothing graphic that I saw on the front, the pages that I looked at on the internet. But it does beg the question, what it does to kids in terms of how they think about violence and sexuality, because they're, engaged and blowing people away in these.
Well, to answer your question on that one, I mean, they could do anything to them. They could either be like, "Hey, this is interesting," or "Hey, I don't like women boobs." It turned out to be gay. We don't know what the future holds. All we can do is just guide them. It's the parents' job to guide them.
I think what's interesting about this, we talk about sexuality in the media. One of the great things about Mass Effect, for people that have played it know this is a sort of a choose your own adventure story, and it doesn't force you down any situation. You can actually play through this game without the sexual situation ever happening.
Right, and the young boys
game.
are going to be choosing not to have sex. That'll be what they'll choose. I mean,
No,
let's be
because
realistic
it's not a simple
Oh
choice.
my God,
It's not a simple choice. You don't turn to the game and says, "Would you like to have sex or not?" It's through the evolution of a relationship with characters, and the fact that this game has incredible artificial intelligence, and you can actually fall in love in this game, and it's just like modeling your life, and I think that's a much more powerful form of media.
Darlin, I got to go with the research, and the research says there's a new study out of University of Maryland right now that says that boys that play video games cannot tell the difference between what they're seeing in a video game in the real world if they don't have a real experience.
All right, Jeff, thank you. It's a fascinating game, and I'm amazed at just the artistry and what it looks like. It's absolutely phenomenal.
It's a fantastic game, and sex is a small little part of it.
All right, thank you very much to Jeff and Cooper. Let's go around the panel really quickly and get your thoughts on this.
Oh my God, but that was a young Jeff Keighley. My God. Because kids shouldn't needed to take interest in all period. All right, we wanted to be sexless, colorless gray blobs.
Now, I avoided mentioning anything regarding the networks X-Play was hosted on because I wanted to focus on the show itself first. The average person is not going to know what's going on behind the scenes at a company. Well, yes, X-Play was an extremely popular show when it started airing.
Oh my God, he's going to talk about what my theory was. He's going to talk about what my theory was. Jesus Christ, how is that I'm mostly right most of the time? Everything I talk about is mostly right.
Behind the scenes, things weren't looking so hot. Like I said at the start of the video, ZDTV was made to take advantage of the whole .com bubble that was expanding in the late 90s, but as many would know, that bubble would soon burst. And then, well, the channel started struggling. That 2003 rebranding of X-Play wasn't for fun. That was an attempt to grab new viewers as Tech TV desperately needed it. But meanwhile, in a different...
we can teach them the older they get, which is the reason for their teen years when it makes them... Exactly.
place, a new channel was arising.
TV.
G4. The merger between Tech TV and G4. But then I'd rather those with degrees to teach them about sex. Don't let a stranger on the internet teach them. Exactly. Honestly, I have no problem with sex education in school, but you have to teach all spectrums of it, right? You have to add. This was a big contention. You have to add celibacy. You have to add that. You can teach about the disease and why you shouldn't, but you can't stop teenagers from doing it. But you have to teach all the consequences of doing it. I remember there was a time where teaching celibacy was considered a bad thing. It was a bad thing to try to teach celibacy in schools.
In 2002, a new cable channel by the name of G4 was created, and this channel was created solely to cash in on the expanding gaming industry. It was a channel made for gamers. The entire lineup was content dedicated purely to the gaming industry. Cheat codes, gaming news and reviews, you name it. It was a smart idea. However, G4 in the early 2000s struggled. It was struggling to get any advertisers on board. In order for your channel to survive, you needed advertisers and money, and G4 didn't have either. They needed something big to help them. In 2003, the CEO of Now Tech TV had finally had enough of their mediocre numbers and decided to put the channel up for sale. G4 saw this and saw what they had to offer and quickly swooped in to snatch the sale, and the deal was made final in early 2004. The two channels merged to become G4 Tech TV until the assimilation was completed a few months later, and so it just became G4 again. Now that the two channels had become one, it was now survival of the fittest. Only the most popular of Tech TV's shows were allowed to stay on G4. If you didn't meet the channel's new expectations, the show was getting the axe and you were fired. Of course, X-Play was their most popular, so it got to stay, but everything else wasn't so lucky. Anything that was considered nerdy or geeky was immediately put on the chopping block. Anything relating to anime or all those anime marathons were axed, in America at least. They kept them around for Canada from what I read.
I fucking hated that. I loved watching anime on Tech TV. I was so pissed when they got rid of anime on Tech TV. Did you see a teacher arrested for dating a girl in her 18 and past, graduated? I saw that. And the way the headline wrote it, it was like, it made me think it was a, like her teacher. But when I looked into it, it was, he just happened to run into her or something like that. Meanwhile, female players always get away with dating students even younger. Not always, Seth. Not always. There's been a recent influx of female teachers getting arrested and prosecuted. They don't get as heavy sentences as the male counterparts, but they are getting caught and sentenced.
Screensavers was another one of Tech TV's most popular shows, and it was...
I remember the Screensavers. Oh my god. Most of the time, it's because I would have enjoyed it if I was a kid. Oh, did you hear about the there was one story where a man caught his teenage son sleeping with his stepwife, and he allowed it, or was it a teacher and he allowed it? He was like, "Well, my kid's like 16 years old, and the teacher is hot. I don't give a fuck." He got in trouble too.
Formed into Attack of the Show. It became a lot more about...
Oh, that's what it was, Attack of the Show.
Pop culture and current trends to appeal to a wider demographic. And a ton of people who worked on Screensavers were let go. And one of those people was a man named Dan Heward, who would later go online and write a huge blog post about what was going on behind the scenes at G4. Dan noted on his blog that G4 wanted to start shifting their topics from geeky stuff to just gamer and pop culture stuff. This shift caused massive problems with Dan's job, which was mostly screening live phone calls for the show from actual people.
Bill, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Leo.
Bill, you're a brave man. When Roger and Carmine showed up at your door, how did you feel about that?
A little scary with Scott.
I remember the show.
Coming along, but Roger was great.
You knew you were in trouble when Scott Harriet shows up at the door.
Now those phone calls were meant to be pre-recorded and more so for comedy than actually helpful. But don't forget, the average viewer of ZDTV and Tech TV were nerdy, shy, social outcasts. They didn't know how to be funny.
Our first call of the day, it's Christopher in Sewanee, Georgia. Hi, Christopher.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
What can I do for you today?
Well, my question is, what's the difference between CDR and CDRW, and should I get one?
Oh, I love that question because I have a kind of contrarian view on it all. I don't agree with the mainstream on this one, so I'm glad you asked.
He lost all passion for his job because it wasn't genuine anymore, and he eventually lost his job over this. The most damning part of this entire blog post is this quote by him right here. Management didn't want geeks asking questions on our show anymore. Screensavers and Tech TV was built on the foundation of those nerds keeping their network and show afloat, and once they found a new audience to pander to, they threw them away. They had
the modern audience. They went for the modern audience.
Served their purpose.
You have just given me my $1 million. Now get out!
What?
Get out!
X-Play is pretty much the only show that remained untouched when G4 came along. In fact, X-Play basically got the red carpet treatment since it was one of their most popular shows. They started building them a new set and everything. In fact, the first 3 episodes of X-Play when G4 took over had to be filmed in Adam Sessler's apartment because the sets weren't finished. And well, really, all they did after G4 took over was just double down on the stuff we already went over. X-Play, along with Attack of the Show, which is its own can of worms, went on to become G4's most popular shows, but things were about to get even worse for the channel as a whole. In late 2005, the then president of G4 stepped down and was replaced by a brand new guy named Neil Tiles. Neil had previously been a part of mostly sports networks, and when he took over G4, he decided that he didn't want it to be a gamer channel anymore. He wanted G4 to be a channel for man. A channel for the testosterone-fueled, sweaty, and muscular dude grown man.
But we had that already. There was a man channel. It was called Spike TV.
And G4 started picking up a ton of shows, like Ninja Warrior, The Man Show, and the bane of many viewers of G4, Cops. We'll get into.
Oh my god, this is not what G4 Tech TV should have been. This is once again pandering to the modern audience.
Why that isn't a bit. If this wasn't a major red flag, well, let me spell it out for you. G4 was now a network that was in decline. They were doing anything to keep themselves afloat. X-Play themselves would still remain probably their most popular show, but it also went through a number of changes and alterations due to what was probably a change in the show's budget, as they were also struggling with competing with the soon-to-be monolithic internet. The strangest change in the show was this set, which has been unofficially called the Sphere set, where it seems they glued glass balls to the floor. Why would you do that? What if someone trips on one and breaks something? In 2008, the show got a gigantic overhaul, a brand new set and format, and would stick like this for the next few years. And this overhaul would actually try and go back to its original GameSpot TV and extended play roots, where it's attempting to be a lot more informative than just crack jokes about the games they're playing. The edgy writing and skits were toned down a lot in this overhaul. It's still there in some format, but it's not anywhere near where it was. So it's like they sort of fused the original shows and explained to this new style.
You should kill me! Who the fuck that?
Hey, you cancel that right now. You're hurt. You're hurt real bad, but you are not dying, Tingle.
But the reason for this change was more than likely a result of budget cuts and having less writers to work with and a smaller studio space overall. There's really not much to comment on after this overhaul. It's legit just like all the other game review outlets that were out at the time, and that's to its benefit and its detriment. It's beneficial because now the show isn't hostile towards any of their viewers anymore, for the most part. But this also works against them now because there is absolutely nothing stand out about them anymore. All this gaming news and reviews, well, why would you go to X-Play for that now, when there's dozens of sources that can do that? Maybe if you didn't go online very much and this is still all you had, but by 2008, that percentage of people was rapidly declining. And speaking of declining, by 2010, G4 was on the ropes. Their attempts to make G4 the man channel had completely fallen apart. They attempted to make a couple of new shows here and there to attract viewers, but they all failed. And X-Play and Attack of the Show were probably the only two shows keeping the channel afloat. But those went south too because, well, I'll tell you why that went south. I had discovered X-Play around late 2005-ish, and of course seeing video games played and reviewed on live TV was jaw-dropping to me, and I caught any episodes I could until about late 2007, early 2008-ish. You see, for us at least, G4 was on a very specific cable package. Nobody else really had that package except us. And then the 2008 recession hit us, and because of that, we had to cut back on a lot of our things, including TV. We were no longer going to be able to subscribe to our TV providers because it was too much. Luckily, however, there was a shining beacon of hope, because my mother was a school teacher, and because she was a school teacher, she got special benefits others didn't. That would be including unlimited data for internet access so she could do schoolwork online. After we lost TV, me and my siblings all very quickly shifted over to using exclusively the internet for our entertainment, and because not many other people really had this benefit around the time, we were sort of ahead of the curve when it came to adopting online usage. Hooray for being poor! And this is, of course, where I became engrossed in online activity and seeing all the entertainment the internet had to offer. I was set for life. You still am. Well, by, I want to say late 2010, early 2011, we had finally gotten out of the hole we were in, and we got our TV subscription back. Out of sheer curiosity, I wondered what G4 and X-Play was up to, and I went to the channel only to see it completely different. Then I checked the TV guide, and to my absolute shock, the entire lineup for the next several hours was nothing but fucking reruns of Cops. Cops, as far as the eye can see. I checked the next few days and did not see a single airing of X-Play anywhere. Just Cops, cheaters, and shows I didn't want to watch. I never even got to see the overhauled X-Play because they never aired it. So after that, I just stopped caring about G4 and X-Play and went back to my days of browsing online content. People have called X-Play the MTV of video games. But just like MTV, it eventually stopped being about what the channel was made for, just to appeal to a wider audience, and it just wasn't working for them. Going into the 2010s, G4 started rotting away behind the scenes.
I'm shaking my head right now. I'm just shaking my... I have No fucking words. No fucking words. They went for the modern audience. And what did it do?
More shows were being cancelled, more firings, and more cops to rerun. And soon, the firings would eventually reach X-Play. In early 2012, Adam starts to look miserable on X-Play. Like he really doesn't want to be there, but he has to keep a happy face and personality for the camera, but he knew the writing was on the wall. In late April of 2012, they would wrap up another episode of X-Play, but as they're giving their goodbyes and to look forward to the next one, something very strange happens in the final second of the episode.
That is it for this episode of X-Play Weekly.
Be sure to catch new episodes of X-Play weeknights at 6:30 on G4.
We are going to have all the latest reviews, previews, live hands-on demos,
And the occasional shout-out to Harold Pinter.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Did you catch it? Look at that. Adam's head suddenly jolts to look at something off camera, with a look of despair on his face. According to Sessler himself, what he was looking at was, apparently someone higher up on the corporate ladder had walked into the room and was motioning him to come here. As they would hand deliver him the message, his services were no longer needed. He was then escorted by security to get his shit and get out. They would continue the show without him, mostly Morgan being the last bastion of the old show. Sessler wouldn't have to worry too much about being left out, as only a couple of months later, the show itself, and all of G4 in fact, wouldn't last much longer. G4 was in talks with the company behind Esquire magazine to sell the channel and become the Esquire network, with a completely different audience to cater to, and that meant a completely different lineup of shows. So in order to make sure the deal went smoothly, G4 decided to clean the slate, and canceled Attack of the Show and X-Play. As the two shows went on and had their series finales, the finale of X-Play would be a reflection on the past decade they had been around, with all the remaining cast members giving their condolences and goodbyes, with Morgan thanking you all for watching all these years.
Thank you guys so much for watching X-Play.
But in a shocking twist of irony, the deal for G4 to become the Esquire network had completely fell through. They killed off their most popular shows for nothing. After this, G4 would continue to air nothing but more reruns of programming they picked up, and reruns of X-Play and Attack of the Show. As more and more cable channels started removing G4 from their TV packages, dying a very slow death, until on December 31st, 2014, as a way to bookend everything, they aired the first episode of X-Play as their final program. X-Play, Tech TV, and G4 was no more.
They fucked over their core audience. They fucked over their core audience. They had a core audience, and instead of continuing to cater to the core audience, they went for the modern audience. And, it happens all the time.
I'm at Comic-Con!
Oh, that brings a chill down my spine. That sound brings a chill down my spine. X replay. And here we are.
So after X-Play was killed off, everyone just sort of moved on with their lives.
Yeah.
No doubt probably going to get other jobs in the entertainment industry. But one must ask, what happened to Adam Sessler? The guy was basically the face of the show, and they just sort of kicked him to the curb. Well, if you're wondering, we're not done talking about Sessler just yet.
Nope.
After getting fired from G4, Sessler would sort of pitch around trying to get a job elsewhere, and eventually he ended up getting hired by a different network called Revision 3 Games, where he would continue his gaming journalism work. Adam had a huge hand in Revision 3 Games, having his own video series, and even getting back to reviewing some games too, in the Sessler style of course.
Personally, I would have preferred an emo Dante. He would have been quieter.
I'm taking you off the air.
But the one I gotta point out is his review of
2016 really made him go even crazier. Oh, 2016 made a lot of people go crazy. A lot of people. They've just been getting crazier and crazier.
BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite, for those who don't know, was a game that was universally loved when it first came out, but over the years, people have started to sour on it. Its reception is a lot more divisive these days. But since this review was when the game first came out, Sessler thinks it was God's gift to mankind. He even brought out the dictionary for this one.
This moment
in its odd quietude and musical anachronism, is one of numerous tableaus in BioShock Infinite that catapult this exhilarating meditation. BioShock Infinite is filled with these details at every moment, manifesting a verisimilitude that is at once mysterious and exacting. To not stop and linger at these details, along with the audio logs, is to miss one of the greatest pleasures in video games. While the backdrops themselves are as stunning as everything else in the game.
Wait, I want to go back. I want to go back. Look. In this alternate world, why is Abraham Lincoln the devil? John Wilkes Booth considered a holy man. Why is it popular to hate Infinite nowadays? Honestly, in my opinion, I didn't like the game too much. I think it was story-wise, I think the story-wise was a little bit more confusing than it need to be. I get what happens. I think the hate now is imagery like this. I really can't tell you, Seth. I can't. Because I don't hate the game. I honestly, I don't know anybody who hates the game.
Audio logs is to miss one of the greatest pleasures in video games. While the backdrops themselves...
No, it's not a 10 out of 10 game. By no means. But it is interesting.
Are as stunning as everything else in the game. Verticality, landscape variety, and Elizabeth's hair powers provide deeply gratifying inventiveness to the proceedings that control smoothly and precisely.
Adam sort of became the face of Revision 3. I mean, he was sort of the only guy there with any notoriety. But also when you watch some of his interviews, particularly the ones at E3, you can tell there was now an added component to his demeanor.
Everyone, E3, Rev 3 Games, Vivid Touch booth. This game we're about to see next really is one of the most unique offerings out here on the floor. I interviewed on the first Forza. Good. So now you can look at something and be like, oh, Adam is that bad. I finally realized it. Let me. Do you explain away how the spirit world exists and like why? That was kind of like the entire.
He's on drugs.
Pretty much.
He's on drugs.
Facing the earth. How do you sort of build that into? Is there any sense of regret?
The Insane Clown Posse shared their views on the staff of X-Play.
Mostly they're all crackheads and drunks and stuff.
I mean, they weren't wrong. Revision 3 wouldn't last very long.
The Internet progressing killed E3. That's one of the reasons why E3 got killed. The other reason was COVID, honestly. I mean, you look at Nintendo Direct, right? E3 was just supposed to be like an expo of upcoming games and tech, and also corporations making their own. So if you don't need a place to show off your tech and demos, right? Then why do it? You can just do it you can do it for free. Companies paid to go to Las Vegas to showcase their stuff on the floor. Right, and they weren't making any money off of it. It was a money sinkhole for the video game companies. So when was BlizzCon? BlizzCon I think is in November, but BlizzCon pays it for themselves. So when companies like, hey, we can save us thousands of dollars by not going out there, they will.
Only until about 2014 until it was shut down. The YouTube account has been updated for 11 years, and that was another chapter in Cessler's story down the tubes. After this, he would keep it very long. Only until about I mean, they weren't wrong. Revision 3 wouldn't last very long. Only until about 2014 until it was shut down. The YouTube account has been updated for 11 years, and that was another chapter in Cessler's story down the tubes. After this, he would just sort of piddle around. He would pop up here and there. He and Morgan would reunite for 1 year in 2015 to cover Bethesda's E3 2015 conference. Adam's still looking for his next hit.
And those details were, of course, really oriented at the fans who have played previous games and to be able to pick out little references and little things that were in the previous games.
But after this, nobody knew what happened for several years. As the 2010s were going along, there was a disturbance in the force. A disturbance involving gaming journalism, a giant dancing peanut, and things were never the same. Due to its age now reaching over a decade, people started feeling nostalgic for X-Play. And while it had many problems, it also represented a simpler time when gaming journalism didn't take itself so seriously. There definitely was an appeal to X-Play, but who it was appealing to and whether it was worth it in the end is up for debate. A lot of people missed X-Play and wish it would return in some shape or form. But, as they say, be careful what you wish for. Some people in positions of power at Comcast saw the growing nostalgia for X-Play and G4 and came up with a brilliant idea. On July 24th, 2020,
there we go.
This video suddenly dropped online.
Here we go. His reputation was tarnished and people would like not listening to him. I know what he is. There we go. See, this is something that we don't talk about in the geek industry. We let a lot of the weirdos take over because we didn't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. It sucks to hurt people. I don't want my feelings hurt. I'm pretty sure you don't care about what your feelings hurt. But we also have a lot of people have a lot of friends that are outcasts. We are outcasts. Nerds are outcasts, right? We know what it's like to be outcast, and we don't want to hurt. We didn't like our feelings hurt because we love this. We didn't like it when the jocks made fun of us for liking video games and anime, right? We still don't. And that's why so many weirdos also invaded the space because they had found a place to live, to be accepted. Only they've gone really, really crazy. To a point where it's like you can't defend them anymore. Get ready for the soul clap like a seal for frost. I know it's coming, But we also harvested this stuff. Look when you go to an anime. I don't know if you've ever been to an anime convention, Seth, but if you've been to an anime convention between the years 2008 to 2020, there's a lot of freaky people there. Arf. A lot of freaky people, and they were accepted. No matter how weird they were. I think I told the story about how two furries were yiffing on a hotel floor, and the police were called on them. The police went up to where they were yiffing at, and he didn't know what to do because he had never seen two furries before. So he called animal control. Animal control got up there and was like, "Oh, we don't know what to do." All this whole time, these two furries were going at it. Oh yeah, they were known. They've always been known to be freaks, right? But we accepted them. We didn't say anything bad about them, right? Because we're just like, well, they're grown adults. They're having fun. They're not really hurting anybody but themselves. Now, but when Rainforest, I don't know if you remember Rainforest happening, but when Rainforest happened, and honestly, the 2016 election broke a lot of people's minds because somebody was saying it how the mainstream was feeling. He was saying things that you don't say out loud. He was being completely politically incorrect, and it was throwing people crazy. They were saying, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that because of isms. But when you look at it, it wasn't because of isms. It was because of weakness. It was you were a bad person if you talk bad about somebody, even if it was politically inconvenient. I've talked about the story about the man, the Muslim man who killed his two daughters. He killed his two daughters because they're becoming too westernized. When that happened, the right was calling it out and saying, "Hey, we need to capture this murderer because he murdered his 2 daughters, and he did it because of religious reasons. The left attacked rightoids, saying you can't say that. That's Islamophobic. I know it's inconvenient. It's an inconvenient truth, but it's the truth. You know, the truth was this man killed his 2 daughters, because he felt that they were too westernized. And when you speak inconvenient truths, it bugs people, especially people from the 90s, because we were taught not to hurt people's feelings. Suddenly, people's feelings overrode morality. Seth, you being the Simpson connoisseur that you are, do you remember the episode where the "Do What You Feel" episode? Do what you feel. That's basically what we're fighting against with a lot of people. They feel. Not I didn't do it. Not the I didn't do it episode. The do what you feel. Brad Goodman coming to town, exactly. Couldn't remember his name.
Your blood pressure is off the chart, and I don't like this urine sample one bit. You're headed for a nervous breakdown. You need Brad Goodman. His infomercial plays round the clock on Channel 77.
Thank you, Martha Quinn. There you have it. Unrehearsed testimonies from important celebrities. She's one of my favorites. I loved her in the thing I saw her in. You know, my course can help you with every personality disorder in the feel-bad rainbow. Let's look at the rainbow. What's in there? Depression, insomnia, motor mouth, darting eyes, indecisiveness, decisiveness, bossiness, uncontrollable falling down, geriatric profanity disorder, or GPD, and chronic
nagging, 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 nagging.
What up, Marge?
I'm watching a videotape that could change our lives.
Oh, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such self-help videos as Smoke Yourself Thin and Get Confident, stupid. Well, now I'm here to tell you about the only real...
You're not wrong, Seth. You're not wrong. But a solution is not the answer.
...path to mental health. That's right. It's the Brad Goodman something or other.
Marge, can I go outside and play?
Shh. A few weeks ago, I was a washed-up actor with a...
Here you go.
I do what I feel like.
That's not good advice. That's just telling people a simple answer. And how?
People, I am excited. I can sense a change in the air tonight. You are all going to start living. Really living.
Living!
Be like the boy.
Be like boy! Be like boy!
Just the ladies.
We like boy! We like boy!
Now, the seniors in the back.
We like Roy! We like Roy!
This is madness. He's just peddling a bunch of easy answers.
And how?
And how?
Lise, everyone in town is acting like me. So why does it suck? It's simple, Bart. You have to find yourself as a rebel, and in the absence of a repressive milieu, your societal niche has been co-opted.
Oh?
I see. Ever since that self-help guy came to town, you've lost your identity. You've fallen through the cracks of our quick-fix, one-hour photo instant oatmeal society. What's the answer? Well, this is your chance to develop a new and better identity. May I suggest good-natured doormat? Sounds good, sis. Just tell me what to do.
Oh, boy. If only Bart had been a better role model for everyone.
That's not fair. The lesson here is that self-improvement is better left to people who live in big cities.
No. Self-improvement can be achieved, but not with a quick fix. It's a long, arduous journey of personal and spiritual discovery.
That's what I've been saying. We're all fine the way we are. Ooh, it's that new show about the policeman who solves crimes in his spare time.
Crank it, Homer.
You busted up that crack house pretty bad.
You know what he says? When Lisa was actually smart. Yeah. Marlon Simpsons don't want you to hear Lisa. Yeah, Marlon Simpsons don't want you to hear old Lisa. It's always about but it's a balance. We got ads coming up, y'all. We have ads coming up. Oh man, it's already ad time again. It's already ad time again. All right, we're gonna keep playing this video. When we hit ads, we're gonna pause. All right, all right. We're almost done. We got another 12 minutes left in this video. Oh, you said you don't want to hear. Oh, my bad. My bad. No one want to hear old Lisa. Modern Lisa would kick would crush old Lisa. She would tear her down, saying how wrong she is.
G4 was coming back, baby. A few months later, a ton of people from G4 would come back for a very special G4 holiday reunion. This would of course include people from Attack of the Show and Cheat, but most importantly, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb would come back for the first time in years. The event is mostly reflecting back on all those years at G4 and X-Play, and what exactly was going on in the minds of the hosts during those times. It's mostly just a clip show. Until the last couple of minutes of the show, they shoot a brand new skit with them trying to escape the reunion, as a throwback to the old days as well. And at the very end, they once again reveal the entire network revival. And this got people hyped. Now this revival of G4...
Oh god. Old Lisa still also suffering from concept of making people do what she believes in. Yeah, she does.
Wasn't some smaller scale thing.
She wasn't perfect,
Not
but
only
she was
did
good.
they start making content on YouTube and Twitch, they went the full 9 yards with this revival and brought the whole damn channel back. They were bringing back X-Play Attack of the Show, Ninja Warrior was coming back, Kid Boga was supposed to get an animated series, they even got Scott the Woz to start making content for the channel. Well, really, all it was they took his YouTube videos and repackaged them for the channel, but it shows you how serious they were about this reboot. But
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Scott the Woz is actually a very talented creator, but I think he's running out of topics to talk about, in my opinion. Let's go through that again. I want to go through that again. I remember Little Lisa's recycling plant. Oh, I remember Little Lisa's recycling plant.
Twitch, they went...
You told us it was good.
The full 9 yards with this revival and brought the whole damn channel back. They were bringing back X-Play Attack of the Show, Ninja Warrior was coming back.
They didn't need to bring back Ninja Warrior, but okay.
Kid Boga was supposed to get an animated series. They even got Scott the Woz to start making content for the channel. Well, really, all it was they took his YouTube videos and repackaged them for the channel, but it shows you how serious they were about this reboot. But, of course, we're going to mainly focus on the X-Play reboot because the most interesting stuff happened on that side of things. Sessler would be returning for the new X-Play, but strangely enough, Morgan Webb would not be coming back for the reboot, as she chose to opt out. And well, after that, Morgan just kinda dropped off the face of the earth. All traces of her online presence sort of petered off after this reunion. I hope you all enjoyed her presence, because we won't be seeing her again.
Bye, Morgan!
We don't have Morgan anymore, but...
Oh, we got ads. Ads are playing. Here we go! Here we go! We got the star of the show! But we'll be back after this P-Haul. We'll get to it after this P-Haul. I hope y'all ready. Seth, I will play your video after the P-Haul. Cause it is time. It is time, brother. It is time. As soon as the ads start, we'll go back to the Nintendo Showcase, which really isn't a whole lot. Could play it during the ad. Could, but I won't. I'm forcing the P-Haul. Twitch is delayed. There we go. All right. All right, back to the. Let's just get to the games I really care about.
Welcome to today's Nintendo.
This looks dumb. I'm not gonna lie. This looks like a Binio game. It looks like a Binio game. A game where you play as a detective and try to solve a murder mystery. I'm pretty sure Binio will like it.
Day on an island where legend. universe.
I'm not
latest
curious about this.
Paranormicite mystery adventure is coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
I am not curious about this game at all.
The story follows Yuza Minakuchi, a boy who works as a pearl diver.
Mario would like it for sure.
One day, while gathering on the seafloor,
yeah, Mario would like it for sure.
He encounters another version of himself.
All right, next game. I wasn't interested
This
in this
phenomenon. A life or death fight for survival begins.
Oh, another Mario game? No.
Until a cave.
This game is Mario and chat game because chat can. We'll skip through it real fast because all it is a survival game, right? A horror survival game where you can't attack the enemies. You have to run away and hide. But it's multiplayer too, which is weird. But the multiplayer.
Found by a Xeno.
The multiplayer is not really multiplayer per se.
Are vital to your survival. Analyze their patterns and find the best route to make your escape. Activate traps in each area to lure and ensnare any stalking Xeno.
Just call them dinosaurs, goddammit.
By using Game Share, up to 4 players can share control.
See, this is weird. This is weird. One player can can control movement. One player can control actions. Another player can control apps. Another one plays camera. How the fuck would that work exactly? I mean, okay, but it'd be funny to watch. People Mario trying to get through the game, and all of a sudden somebody does something that fucks her over.
Controls, including Anne's movement and camera adjustments. Whether locally or online, coordinating with your friends is key to making it out alive.
Don't care about it though. Valheim coming to the Switch.
Battle, build, and conquer in this massive survival game.
It's Chores the Game, Viking Edition. I ain't getting it. I had it. I don't like Chores the Game. Look, Seth.
The kingdom of Hollow Nest.
Look, Seth.
Fight back
Hollow Knight.
infection in this upgraded modern
classic. Hollow Knight with better
Dodge,
graphics.
Dash and slash through this 2D action adventure
better
platform.
Performance rate.
Now with enhanced visuals and improved frame rates on Nintendo Switch 2. Equip charms to enhance your abilities and deal magic damage using upgradable spells while exploring the vast
See, if you don't play this on Switch 2,
map.
you're not playing the true experience.
Descend into a world of insects and heroes when Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 Edition launches on Nintendo Switch 2 later today. Nintendo.
All right. Well, the ads are over. Let's get back and finish the journey of X-Play. Yippee. Yeehaw. Here we go. The final chapter.
We do have some new hosts to bounce off of Adam. It was sort of like a rotating cast of hosts, but the 4 you only really should focus on are Adam Sessler, the Black Hokage, Charity Fraud, and a lady who goes...
Oh yeah, your link. I forgot. I'm sorry, Seth. I forgot about it. I'm sorry. That was good. All right, we'll check out this clip from Seth real fast.
English is my second language, and I always have so many ideas in my head, but I find it hard to organize and
Yes, thank you, everyone. But 10% of your applause should go to my little partner, Lisa Simpson. For if it were not for her infectious moralizing, we would not be here today to witness the unveiling of the Little Lisa Recycling Plant.
Oh, ain't that cute? Makes Lil Debbie look like a pile of puke.
Would you like to be the first to take a tour of the plant, Little Lisa?
I'd love to, partner.
The whole plant is
I'm gonna
environmentally
skip through
sound.
this.
It's powered by old newspapers. The machinery is made entirely of used cans. Without getting an idea. look out over the water. I figured if one six-pack holder will catch one fish, a million sewn together will catch a million fish. Watch.
I mean, you can't get mad at Mr. Burns. He saw a problem and said, you know what, I could use this to create a capitalistic opportunity. All Burns did was recycling the sea with what he did. Exactly. You can't get mad really mad at Mr. Burns.
What's going on?
I mean, what's not to say all the stuff that's stuck on that thing ain't dead. Exactly. He also, how did he catch a whale on the net? Exactly. It was probably a dead whale. So now he's cleaning the sea of dead corpses.
I call it the Burns Omni-Net. It sweeps the sea clean.
Oh, dear God.
I call our product Little Lisa's patented animal slurry. It's a high-protein feed for farm animals, insulation for low-income housing, a powerful explosive, and a top-notch engine coolant. And best of all, it's made from 100% recycled animals.
I think I'm gonna be...
See, recycled animals! Recycled animals. The animals are dead! More likely dead. Or useless. He's doing a favor. He's cleaning the sea.
Sick.
Oh, a spoonful of slurry will cure what ails ya.
Oh, you haven't changed at all. You're still evil, and when you're trying to be good, you're even more evil.
But he's doing good.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Pigs need food. Engines need coolant. Dynamiters need dynamite. I'm supplying it to them at a tidy profit, and not a single sea creature was wasted. You inspired it all, little Lisa.
That's right, little Lisa. You inspired it all. I want to say season 9. I know it's not, and it's not the golden years.
But you
told us to recycle. You convinced us it was good.
No, it's evil. Please stop recycling.
Stop. You can't mix plastic with paper. Capitalists will, innovators will always find a way. I know after Lisa, yeah, but Lisa became a vegan, like it's season 6 or 7. I don't know that.
If you don't believe creating
and shut up. All right, back to the final shit show, the real shit show.
Only really should focus on are Adam Sessler, the Black Hokage, charity fraud, and the lady who goes.
That's still funny. Charity fraud. There she is, y'all. There she is.
By the online alias Froskarin. She was a professional League of Legends player. Let that be a dark omen of things to come. So this time, the show's format is more so a live show than anything. It's mostly just them sitting around talking about games, or gaming news live on stream. Time to time, they'll hold sketches and skits with a variety of characters in it, sometimes even allowing viewers to vote on certain outcomes. So I can definitely say this is probably the best adaptation to modern times they could have possibly done.
It's me, Sonic the Hedgehog. Me.
But the issue with this reboot is it has the exact same problem they had when they gave the original show an overhaul back in 2008, but even more extreme. It wasn't the early 2000s anymore. The competition has gotten far more fierce in regards to video game content online. X-Play was really the only TV show on cable talking about video games, but now this was online, and so it's lost in a sea of other people playing and talking about video games. So once again, if I'm watching this on, let's say, Twitch, why would I pick X-Play over the hundreds of thousands of other options? I can realistically only pick one streamer to watch over the others at that point.
And I want to once again thank all of y'all who come by, who are lurking, who drop bits, chat. I appreciate y'all coming by. Honestly, there's a whole sea of other content creators out there that y'all could be watching or listening to, but y'all either have me on the background or just whatever. I appreciate all of y'all. Even those that come and watch the VOD, who don't watch the VOD, I appreciate all of y'all. in my little space of the internet. They don't get mad at her because people on the right don't like her. Frost did the salute. Why don't people get mad at her? Well, it's tribalism. Tribalism. We all have it. There's tribalisms on both sides, Seth. Ozzy staying silent. Is Ozzy there? Is Ozzy lurking? Ozzy, you rat bastard. I don't know if she's lurking there or not.
So why should it be X-Play? The only thing really making this show stand out was the brand name and the few big names that got to be on the show. And well, viewership-wise, I can't really say if this was a success or not. What was left of their YouTube channel, you can see they usually hover around the 5-digit range, which is fine.
Hold on. That was actually a little bit entertaining. All right, this right here, the showcase of how to play the Switch game. You have the paid actor on the right, showing how Nintendo wants you to play it, while Frost on the left is like how all of us would play it. It's like, okay, whatever. That's actually pretty funny. I think that's funny.
On their YouTube channel, you can see they usually hover around the 5-digit range, which is fine. But for a big corporation that probably spent millions to revive the network, I don't imagine they were too pleased about these numbers. There was just nothing really to make X-Play stand out now. They had simply adapted to modern times, but that also means without any of the crude edginess of the old show.
I found it funny. It got a giggle out of me. It got a giggle out of me. Call me simple, but it got a giggle out of me.
Which is what a lot of people remember from it. And, well, without it, is it really X-Play? I mean, no, I wasn't a fan of them constantly crapping on fans of franchises, and them saying we should have dropped more bombs in Japan. That was crude.
Hey, sometimes cheap humor works. Sometimes cheap humor works. It just gotta get a giggle. It's not gonna be anything groundbreaking, but if it gets a giggle, it gets a giggle. Like fart jokes, right? One fart joke in a movie, okay, that's funny. 20 of them in the movie, okay, that's just a little bit too much.
And it was overly edgy. This reboot is a soulless corporate husk. And you could say that type of humor should stay in the 2000s. Well then, shouldn't the show itself stay there then?
It's like laughing at an April episode of Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, we laugh at stupid jokes on Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you know. If it's funny, it's funny. If it tickles your funny bone, it tickles your funny bone. Remember, comedy is subjective. You may not have found it funny, Seth, but I did. Adult Swim and a fart in Full Metal Alchemist every minute. Exactly. Every 5 seconds. Exactly. That's not funny. A fart joke has to like break the tension, right? It has to. It just can't be just fart. It just can't and then no, that's not how it works. It has to be purpose for it.
The rowdy, foul-mouthed teenager of X-Play has finally grown up into that 30-year-old guy, stuck in his 9-to-5 corporate office job, stuck in a cycle. He's inoffensive, he's not hurting anyone now, but you don't talk to him because he doesn't have anything interesting to say. I had no idea there was even an X-Play reboot going on, and I live on the internet. It felt like the only thing that could really give them exposure was a huge controversy.
Oh, here it
that's
comes.
Exactly what happened. On January 11th, 2022, while they were supposed to have a segment to talk about Red Dead Online, they were having some technical difficulties, and while this was happening, Frost saw the perfect opportunity to talk about something that had been on her mind.
But I actually want to talk about something so much more important than Red Dead Online. Sexism in gaming. In joining G4, I was ecstatic.
Ugly women, mad that they're getting old and ugly. I'm sorry. It just it happens to all of us. Some of us at different rates. But it happens. Everybody likes to look at something pretty. Nobody wants to look at a dead flower. A dead flower isn't pretty. A young, beautiful, freshly bloomed flower is pretty.
To be part of something that I grew up watching as a child, but every time...
The only difference between a flower and a human, for the most part, is a human has feelings.
G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us, I can see you, without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as...
I just now realized, look on her nose, Seth. What's on her nose?
Bangable as the previous hosts. It's somehow...
Talk to him, Frost!
Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. We have done the...
You're right. You're right. No, look. I get her argument, all right? They're not all women are there to look nice for you. This is true. But when you make a show, you're putting out entertainment, and people want to see nice stuff on entertainment. They don't want to see nasty stuff. They don't want to see ugly stuff on entertainment. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, it sucks. But that's just the way the world is. It's the way it's always been. Human history. You can't change human history.
The experiment and controlled for the variables.
There it is.
Adam,
there it is.
Done the experiment
There it is. The
and
seal
controlled
clap
for the variables. Adam will read a script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I'll be the one flamed. And yeah, it also happens to Gerard and TBH, but that doesn't discount the sexism of how it happens to me when it...
I kind of feel bad for Gerard and the other guy. They look so lost and confused. They're just going on to get along.
Does. So maybe for 2022, we'd be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
And people didn't watch it.
So yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere. Just this rant out of the blue, completely unprompted. And after this, it would cause a PR shitstorm for G4. As it was now all over the gaming news, a ton of people were either coming out in support or against Frost's outburst. It's pretty much the only thing people know about regarding this reboot, this one rant. But then you realize they had segments on boobs all the time on X-Play, and they had Oliver Munn doing stuff like seductively licking a PS3 on live television for its launch.
Alright, and now...
Not only that, like I said, a couple hours ago, Morgan Webb was on a men's magazine called FHM, For Him magazine, talking about video games in a bikini. Why did it only work when Rockstar said you don't like it, you don't play it? I don't know.
Miss Munn, it's time.
No, it didn't even work then. Because there's always gonna be complainers. That's the problem. There's always gonna be complainers.
Time for the ceremonial tongue bathing of the next generation console.
Go.
Oh, you're gonna throw it back to me? Yeah.
I like it.
That's. You think they're going for a lot on eBay? Wait till you get this one out there.
That was a lot of fun, and I think I need a cigarette.
And look, I have no doubt in my mind that she was receiving some sexist and rude comments. But you know who also got those comments? Morgan Webb and Oliver Munn. They got a ton of guys calling them fake and really only being eye candy for years. And it was probably hard on them, but they just had to grit their teeth and bear it because that was their audience.
Yeah. That more. Now I don't know about Morgan Webb. I believe Morgan Webb was a gamer. And I actually believe Olivia Munn loved video games and comic books. Shit. Olivia Munn was in the movie X-Men Apocalypse, and she was playing Psylocke. She told them, I want my Psylocke costume to be comic accurate. I don't want to wear no black leather suit. I want my outfit to be comic accurate. Let's see if I can find that. Olivia Munn. Psylocke. I wanna make sure I get the. Let's see what this is. Few costume. Let's start that one over. I know. Few costumes in superhero movies serves as much controversy as Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse. Olivia Munn's sleek, skin-tight outfit was ripped straight from the comics, but it sparked controversy for being too revealing. Comic accurate, definitely. Or for some, they crossed the line. What do you think? Well, that's what she fought for. That's what she fought for. Hit back. I hit back. While Frost shaming the fan base and told the very same people not to watch the content, she's the reason why she fails. Look at the Flicks video. As well. The Flicks video is what I'm looking for. Oh, okay.
I saved enough to take my mom on a cruise. What's
being a huge being a huge X-Men fan, what she likes about being Psylocke, Apocalypse collect the 4 Horsemen. Creative costume. We'll go to chapter 7. Chapter 7, where she's talking about it. Costume.
When we started doing the costume for Psylocke, we didn't have much time before shooting. And there was a moment where they said, well, we need to get the look right, which is very important because when you're doing these costumes, they have to fit you like a glove, and they have to be a second skin. So it takes a lot of fittings, a lot of practice, a lot of people working really hard to make it fit. Now, the latex comes in black, like it's standard black color. So the option to make her a version of purple or blue was on the back burner. It was like, if we have time. And I got on the phone with Brian and I said, Brian, I understand that there's an element of let's take inspiration from the comics, but also create her in our own way and create. That's what they do for all the costumes. They go, but specifically for Psylocke, I feel like the way she looks is so indicative to who she is and so iconic in the X-Men universe and people who love that world, that if you're going to create this character, you have to give the people what's in their head. Simon Kinberg is the man. He is...
Love Olivia Moon. Love her! That's why she's loved by geeks and gamers. That's why. I would also say Amish, but then the Amish keeps their ideas to themselves because they don't have any on the internet. Ha 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 ha! Funny, Seth. Funny. Let's finish this. We gotta finish this. We gotta finish this trek.
This reboot wasn't even a full year in, and Frost was already telling them off. All those years ago, X-Play discarded their shy nerdy audience for the dude bros obsessed with guns and boobs and stuff, and they made this reboot to give those same guys a dopamine hit of nostalgia. They're not gonna take it. You cultivated that audience. You encouraged them.
What Adam is trying to say is that we have a PS2 title based on a series of Japanese action figures.
Action figures shaped like pretty women. Here's our preview of Side Girls. Oh, they're pretty.
And now it's blown up in their face. The last thing you ever want to do is insult your audience. And that is exactly what Frost had done. And the last thing to focus on is, who is she really talking to? I've seen clips in other videos where they show the Twitch chat this was live on, and they're all giving her a wave of support and claps. Was their audience really that bad? Well, it doesn't really matter, as this was a major blow to X-Play at this point in time. And not too long after this, it was announced that the entire G4 reboot would be shutting down. Everything was being removed, and everyone was being let go. It barely lasted a year. All that hype and build-up for nothing. And so, for the second time, X-Play and G4 were once again dead. And probably for good this time.
Game over.
I gotta say, watching a network die twice is something you don't see every day. But that's the reality of the situation. A lot of people blame Frost's Meltdown for single-handedly killing the channel a second time. But it's been a few years, the grifters have had their say, they made their money off the situation, and now it's time for my piece. No, Frost's Meltdown did not kill the network again. In reality, X-Play, and by proxy, G4 as a whole, has no place in the modern world.
Nah, it really does. It did. Don't get me wrong. Frost's outburst didn't help. It did not help the situation. But the continuation of attacking your core audience, the nerds, the gamers, the people who are really passionate about this stuff, to signal to the modern audience, was what killed your show. Was what killed the network. Not once, but twice.
served its purpose all the way back in the 2000s, but those times are over. After G4 died a second time, Frost and the rest of the crew moved on to greener pastures, I think. But first we must talk about our favorite Cess-Man one last time, as he still wasn't done yet. Whenever people mocked the fact the reboot failed on social media, Adam Sessler would have a complete meltdown. Oh yeah, that's a major factor I forgot to mention. Adam Sessler was a very active Twitter member for many years, and whenever anyone would show distakes for an X-Play review, Sessler would sometimes respond and double down on it, usually insulting the person in question. Adam would absolutely lose his shit in 2023, claiming that gamers are losers and dead, they aren't worth his time, just absolutely going off on them. At some point, he would eventually delete his account and just, well, become a ghost. Apparently, he had started up an AI company that he would later sell to Reddit, because of course it was Reddit, and well now, he's probably set for life. This man had been there since the start. Over 20 years of dedication to this one show, he was there through every major restructure, he probably saw hundreds of people let go in his time. He was there for the death of G4, the death of Revision 3 games, and the second death of G4, and in the end, he made out like a bandit.
Local tax experts are here.
Gotta go somewhere
now
that
you can meet with a TurboTax expert.
I mean, Seth, that's why you're here. You agree with my idiotic ramblings, right? Right?
X-Play was an extremely flawed show. It insulted people, insulted ethnicities, and fans of anything that was considered weird. It still lives on as a piece of their childhood, no matter what. It stands as a cornerstone of the time it was made in, the shifting tides of gaming and what the attitudes were. A cultural piece of history that should still be remembered. I'm not here to say you should stop enjoying the show because of its problems, because this show was a part of my childhood as well. Because of it, I got to see games I would have never learned about on my own, even though they would insult them 5 minutes later. It was never meant to live past the 2000s, and it never should have. We didn't need to see it come back. It should have stayed where it was, in our thoughts and in our past. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. It really is. The show would have hated me for the type of nerd I grew up into. Adam Sessler would probably spit on me, but they can hate me as much as I want. Despite everything revolving around it, I can't bring myself to fully hate it. I can acknowledge its flaws and criticize it, but I can't hate it. X-Play, G4, Tech TV, ZDTV, they all played a part in many people's lives, and maybe they made you a better person, or maybe they made you a worse person. In the end, they made an impact. That is their legacy. God bless, like and subscribe, and good night. I give X-Play 3 extremely outdated YouTube stars out of 5.
Well, there it is, guys. There it is. I'll share the link. Y'all go watch it. Go give it a like. Man, that was a blast from the past, and just goes to show you, you know, if you're going to go for a niche audience, go for that niche audience. Get your base, especially now that YouTube is pretty much everybody's making their own TV channel and their own radio show with podcasts and all that. Get your base and don't alienate them. Know what your base is. My Oshi, Russ Martin, when his show was getting big in Dallas Fort Worth, his producer, actually his general manager, wanted to expand into Austin. He said, "Let's put your show out in Austin. Your show will do great numbers in Austin." Russ was like, "No, I don't want to do my show. I don't want to do a national show. I want to do a show for my audience that's in Dallas and Fort Worth, because that's my audience. I know Dallas and Fort Worth like the back of my hand." This is Russ talking. And if I have to start talking about Austin, they're not going to understand the stuff I'm talking about down in Austin. I will not do good numbers. Now you can take replays of, and he told them, you can take replays of my show and air them down there and see what happens. But I do not want to go live in Austin because that's going to change my show. My show is the Russ Martin Show, and it is based in Dallas and Fort Worth. And he stuck to those guns until the day he died. They played replays of his show down in Austin, but it didn't take off. Like he knew it wouldn't, because he knew his show. He knew his core audience. And that's what you have to aim for, your core audience. FaZe Connect is about to find out that they just went against their core audience. They're going to find out. And it's not going to end well for them. They're making a mistake again. Stay to your core audience. Don't worry about what the haters say. Make your bank. That's all I got. Oh, that was a fun stream. That was a good time. Oh. Did you share anything else, Seth? Are you even still there? Oh, yeah. This clip. Hold on. Meanwhile, FaZe allowed one of the most out to Marco death. Exactly. See, they didn't say anything. Because once again, they were catering to their core audience. Now they decided to go it seems like they're going to try to go for the current the modern audience. Instead of saying to the core audience, they're going to go for the modern audience. Stick to your core audience and the modern audience will come to you. You'll get a lot of people who don't like the core audience, but they were never fans in the first place. They were just people who want to complain. They're mad that they didn't make it. All right, Seth. Let me check out this clip you sent.
Every single person with a septum piercing are the same crazy bitch online.
Oh, hold on.
That cancel everyone and.
Hold on. It went to the wrong place. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. There we go.
Every single person with a septum piercing are the same crazy bitch online that cancel everyone and go crazy and are weird.
Why do you like to make fun of my septum piercing?
Zoom in on that. That's why.
Okay.
Every single person with a septum piercing are the same.
I honestly don't know why they like the septum piercing. I mean, I guess they think it looks cool, but that's something you put on cattle. Cows wear that. He's not wrong. Nah, if the modern audience decides to complain, then that means they're tourists. No. Well, yes, Seth, they are tourists. That's what I was saying. There are tourists. There's people who weren't fans in the first place, right? They're just looking for something to complain about. But you stick to your core audience and you stay as you are, and people will come to you. No, won't always grow big, right? And if you look at the grow big, then you're gonna have to be as neutral as possible. But if you get a core audience, you stay to that core audience. The Russ Martin, my Oshi, the Russ Martin show, he was a backup to when he first started out, he was a backup to what's his name? Howard Stern. When Howard Stern was on the radio, right? When Howard Stern left the first station, 97.1, the Eagle, they brought Russ Martin in, and Russ Martin did his thing, and he started to become number one in the morning. until 97, one the Eagle got rid of him. It's like two couples driving 20 miles, probably pass off each other bakeries just to complain about a guy's religion. It's like two couples driving 20 miles, probably past others' bakeries just to complain about a guy's religion that won't serve them. Exactly. There's always somebody that complains. It doesn't matter how popular it is. But sometimes that's a good thing too. My favorite TV show, Married with Children, right? It was on a small network. Fox was when Fox Network first came on the air, nobody heard about it. Nobody really knew about Fox Network. In fact, Married with Children almost didn't last 2 seasons. It wasn't until some woman in Ohio had left her kid with the TV on, came back to find her kid watching Married with Children, and it was the episode where Al Bundy is looking for a bra to buy for his wife. She got really, really mad, called a TV station. It got out there. It went quote unquote viral at the time, and then Married with Children became the phenomenon it became. One of the longest running TV sitcoms of all time. But Futurama made a whole episode bit with Mary. They did one bit. They did one bit just to not make fun of, but to pay homage to Katie Seagal's show, because Katie Seagal was from Married with Children. And like I said, it was a bit. It wasn't even that long. It wasn't like an homage episode. It was just her wearing her old Leela wearing a peg costume and saying, "But ow." There's a difference between an homage and like an Easter egg. That's like an Easter egg type of thing. An homage is pretty much no. The whole episode was a parody. No.
Wake up, my king.
No, Seth. That whole episode is not a parody. That is not a parody. It's a joke. It's a throwaway joke. They made the psycho was played by Al. No, he's not. That's not Ed O'Neill.
Oh, jeez, what a night. Make me some coffee, would you?
That is not Ed O'Neill doing the voice.
What do you take with that?
Pancakes and sausage. Kitchen's in the basement, pans are in the attic.
Maybe
You gotta remember, Peg doesn't do cooking. She's about to go do cooking.
after breakfast we can talk about rebuilding our civilization.
Al was a shoe salesman. This guy ain't no shoe salesman. This is not a parody, Seth. This is not. This is a throwaway joke to her past. She never made pancakes.
Yeah, they'll come in handy if I need to cover any tiny manholes. Listen, hon, we don't want to look like slobs in front of the other species, do we?
No.
So get to work on these dishes, and then organize my collection of naked celebrity photos by name and what you can see.
Look, Alcazar.
Call me Al.
Look, Al. I know you've been living alone a long time, and I can sympathize.
This is not homage. It's a joke.
I'm sorry. I guess the relationship isn't going to work out. So much for the Cyclops race. I thought it was a pretty good race, but
okay.
I would say an homage to something would be what's a good example of an homage to something? Oh, you know what? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Right? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's based on Homer's Odyssey. That's an homage to Homer's Odyssey. You have the soothsayer at the beginning. You have them finding a Cyclops at the end. One of the main characters gets quote unquote turned into an animal. That's an homage. This is just a throwaway joke to Married with Children.
I'll do the dishes. Hey, where'd they go? Al, I did my hair the way you wanted it. Who are these people?
Friends.
Hey, where'd you get this couch and that TV set and all this stuff?
They were giving it away on the street corner. Just like you, Leela.
See that?
Too bad they weren't giving away the 3 things you actually need. Mouthwash, a back wax, and stain-proof underwear.
You go, girl!
By the way, your pal Fry fell into the dungeon. Take him a taco so he doesn't die and stink up the place.
Come on, Al. Can't you let the little guy out?
Jeez, Leela. Twice in one day? I'm not Superman. Oh!
All right, Alcazar.
It's just a joke. That's not an homage. It's just a joke.
Question for you.
What's that?
If you could change form, why didn't you change it in the one place that counts?
Like, hold on. Tim Allen, guest, Goose, guest star. There was an old TV show, not Last Man Standing. Oh, look.
Proud of you, son. Hope you don't mind me calling you son. It just seems to fit.
Wow. Have we met before?
You do look vaguely familiar.
I don't think so, Mike.
Is this your tile saw? It's a nice one.
You like tools?
Not as much as I used to.
Howdy ho there, Baxter.
See that this is an homage. This is an homage.
You know, Mike, this reminds me of the ancient Aztecs. They had trouble with a neighboring tribe very often.
You lost me on Heidi Ho.
He was always souping up all of our appliances. Randy.
You look familiar.
Hey,
yeah, Randy, how's it going?
It's good to see you.
Check you later.
See you later.
See, now that's an homage right there. What you were referring to is just a joke. That's the difference. Anyways, how about we wrap up the stream with some more Nintendo Switch
eFootball,
BS.
reborn from Pro Evolution Soccer, is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, I'm closing these ads.
Build out your club, sign legendary players, and compete in tournaments around the globe in...
Don't care about soccer.
Travel through 4 ages in a brand new HD 2D action RPG. Explore the age of safekeeping, the hero Elliot's own time. The age of reconstruction, when humans nearly went extinct.
The age of Ultron.
The age of magic, a time when spells flourished. And the age of budding, the birth of human civilization.
Oh, we're going back in time?
In each age, the scenery and citizens of Elliot's hometown will change. You can also obtain some weapons and magic unique to certain time periods. A story spanning time will soon begin. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 system, June 18th.
Bomberman!
With Super Bomberman games from the Super NES era. Play the first Super...
Do I remember her playing as a house robot? Are you talking about Leela? I can't remember that. I'm surprised they didn't make a sports game a live service yet, because we know that sports fans will spend more on that than a gacha player on those games. They have live no, Seth, Madden Football is nothing but a live service game now. Madden Football and college football are nothing but live service games now. You're kind of late on that one. Oh, you talking about Katie Seagal? No, I don't remember when she played a house robot.
Super Bomberman.
She played a lot of moms though. Obviously she was Peg in Married with Children, and then she was a mom on the TV show 8 Rules of Dating My Teenage Daughter. And then I think she was a mom somewhere else, but I can't remember.
Through to the culmination of the series, Super Bomberman 5, including titles previously unreleased worldwide. The Famicom versions of Bomberman and Bomberman 2 are also included. Plus, there's a brand new...
No, the robot was also a mother figure.
Boss Rush mode.
Hold on. I think there's a video about that. Katie Seagal is everyone's mom. I don't know where to find it. But there's Katie Seagal's roles. How about we do that? Rebels, movies. Safety Katie Seagal, first film made role. The movie list. Not role. Attitude wins Golden Globes. Huh? That sounds slanderous. I don't know. Well, everybody did drugs in the 80s. Oh, did you find something? Did you find something, Seth? Smart House? Oh, yeah. No, I'm looking for her filmography. Film, early career, acting roles, continued career. At the end of Married with Children, she guest stars on the children cartoon. Voice. Look, she is Spinelli's mother on Recess. Let's see. There's the movie you're talking about, Smart House. She was Stephen Hyde's mother on that '70s show. 8 Rules of Dating My Teenage Daughter. She was a mom again. 2005, 2006, my parents on Lost. But yeah, she played a lot of mother roles. Look. In 2016, she played Big Bang Theory as Susan, the mother of Penny. Yeah, she's pretty much every TV's mom. Katie Seagal you'll see is everywhere as a mom, but you'll only see James Kazimaka as one type of mom. You can see the filmography on the side. Don't tell me what to do, Seth. This is my stream. But no, I just want to see what movies, because it doesn't tell what role she is. It just tells her what she plays as. Like, well, that's movies, television. See, in television, she even has a larger role. She didn't become a TV mom until she became Peggy Bundy in Married with Children. Yeah. She's everybody. She's the TV mom. Whoop.
As well as game share support.
All right.
Journey to the Lost Lands.
Who's excited? Who's excited for Turok?
Become
Let's
a
go!
legendary Turok warrior in this intergalactic action shooter. To stop an alien threat from destroying all human life, you'll journey solo or with a team of warriors online and battle all sorts of primal creatures in ferocious combat. Swap between first-person and third-person perspectives as you unleash weapons, melee attacks, and special abilities to devastate foes. Extract DNA from fallen enemies and the environment to upgrade your arsenal, evolve your mantle, and unlock even more abilities called Echo Sinks to gain a greater edge in combat. As you venture across breathtaking worlds, you'll unravel the mysteries that ultimately hold the key to saving humanity. Turok Origins launches on Nintendo Switch 2 this fall.
Come on, come to PC. Come to PC. Remember that Roseanne got banned from ABC and nothing happened. Meanwhile, Jimmy Kimmel gets banned, ABC gets shot up. I know, Seth. I know. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. It's just a lot of losers who fail to be losers, who don't know how to process emotions. Here's the big game. Here's the final game for this is what we always wanted on the Switch. Again, not even rolling. Oh well. Yeah, there was really nothing off this partner showcase. There was nothing. I'm not. That was nothing. All right. What time is it? It's 10:30. Should I call it there? Oblivion remaster on the Switch 2. I know, right? I know. Oh no, you know what? We can look at some Easter eggs.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Video Game Easter Eggs and Hidden Details, the series where I share some of the best Easter eggs and hidden details found in video games with the...
Why don't people talk about that, like how they keep roasting Skyrim? Oblivion? Because everybody actually likes Oblivion more than Skyrim. Skyrim was the first game that got big. It's like the first game that went mainstream. Skyrim was the first game that went mainstream. Once again, said it goes from the nerds to mainstream. Oblivion is what was for the nerds. Skyrim. Oh no, Oblivion got big, right? Oblivion did get big, but it didn't hit mainstream. I didn't hear about Oblivion, and I'm a nerd. I heard about Skyrim before I heard about Oblivion. There's more memes of Skyrim than there are memes of Oblivion. That's a good indicator of how things get big. How memeable it is.
The only rule being they cannot have featured on this channel before. Basically, if you want new Easter eggs delivered to your subscription feed each and every week, then make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, without further delay...
Are you talking about because Skyrim took out the leveling process Oblivion had? No. It hit the audience differently. There was something about Skyrim. You know why I think made Skyrim bigger than Oblivion? Honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, if I take more than 2 seconds to think about it, dragons. No, it wasn't. Skyrim big because you could do more modding on Skyrim. Oh, then Oblivion. No. It was the dragons. The dragons is what stole Skyrim. You had dragons. So there's so much freedom in Skyrim allowed you can mod in Oblivion. That's what and that was another thing. That was probably another thing. I would say that would probably be the third thing people praise Skyrim for is the mods. The what was it? Macho Man Randy Savage mod with the dragon turned into Macho Man Randy Savage. That was a popular meme. Honestly, the only thing Oblivion is better known for is the horse armor. That's what Oblivion is better known for. It's a decent game, right? Good leveling, good story, have a good time, right? Blah 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 blah. What does everybody remember Oblivion for? The horse armor. What does everybody remember Skyrim for? The dragons, the mods, the memes. That's why Skyrim is bigger than Oblivion. And hardly mods from an SSC site because Oblivion didn't have lowly no show stuff. I guess I didn't add lowlies and stuff to Oblivion or Skyrim. Honestly, I don't like the games. Mario playing as a dragon. Yeah.
Let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Quarantine Zone: The Last Check. Now, unlike other zombie games, Last Check doesn't see you playing as a one-man zombie slaying machine. Instead, you have the much less glamorous job of staring at people's bums. Of course, that's just one of the ways that you can check if someone is infected. With the more you play, the more tools you get to help you spot the differences between the living and the still living but not living for long. As you might expect, you get to see plenty of different people pass through your checkpoint, but a couple of them will already be familiar. First up is this lady.
Oh, what's going on? Why are we having internet issues right now? Are we having internet issues? So you could need a mod to change his voice. Probably. I don't play Skyrim. I actually find Oblivion and Skyrim really boring. They were very boring games to me.
Check. Not living for long. As you might expect, you get to see plenty of different people pass through your checkpoint, but a couple of them will already be familiar. First up is this lady.
Can give you this for a
better
deal
damn
than
it.
that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal.
Let's just get this over with.
Now, I'm guessing that some of you...
I know Charles Barnet. You ain't gotta share a clip. I know who it is.
You might already know who this is a reference to, but if you didn't, then Willow here is actually a nod to Michonne from The Walking Dead. I mean, the outfits are certainly similar, but I feel like something's missing. If we search Willow's bag, we can find a golden samurai sword, which is a nod to the weapon that Michonne uses to make the undead actually dead.
Okay.
Oh, and that's not the only Walking Dead reference I found either. On one of the tents near the lab, you can find the words, "Don't open, dead inside." Or if you want to read it the other way, "Don't dead, open inside." Which is of course a nod to this much referenced scene from The Walking Dead's very first episode. The other cameo character that I've had the pleasure of inspecting is zombie video game royalty.
Don't make me wait.
So this bearded man with a saucepan on his head might seem crazy at first. And that's because he is. You see, this is Crazy Dave from the Plants vs. Zombies series. Thankfully, I was able to give Dave a clean bill of health because the man has certainly been through enough. Now, I don't know about
that's an Easter egg.
I didn't know that High on Life had a DLC called High on Knife. I mean, granted, there isn't much actual game here, as you're able to finish the DLC in about 2 to 3 hours, but as someone who loved High on Life, more High on Life is never a bad thing. Now, as you might have guessed, given the name of the DLC, High on Knife focuses on knife.
Guess because of him being Mario is the reason why I don't want to complete the Night Blades quest. Oh, do you have to kill him? Well, that's unfortunate. It's a story, Sam. It's a video game. You're not killing Mario. It's not really Mario, and he's not going, woohoo! It's me, a Mario. He's doing, I am the almighty dragon. Been here for centuries.
Knifey, your bloodthirsty Australian accented knife, who wants to make it back to his home planet. But before
kill the dragon that that helped you defeat the big bad dragon. Dragon lives matter.
That you need to agree to some terms and conditions, which if you've played any recent release seems pretty normal and pretty annoying. Well, the T's and C's in High on Knife require some extra attention, as by agreeing you give Muxalon full rights to your phone and every photo on it, the authorization to use your data to look at for fun, and the rights to your firstborn child, among other things. Oh, and if you don't accept the terms, then Muxalon life-ending engineers will arrive in 2 to 3 business days to kill you. So it's probably best you accept. Anyway, after signing your life away, and the life of pretty much your entire bloodline, when you arrive on Paroxys, you're soon greeted by this guy with the uncomfortable looking belly button. In exchange for his help, all that he asks is that you take a relaxing soak with him. The only problem is, this bathwater is toxic and will eventually kill you. Now, what you're supposed to do here is shoot the leeches attached to our large friend to replenish your health whilst in the bath. But if you keep jumping in and out of the water, this will happen.
Hey there, Pseudo here. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little God of War style tip that just gives the whole puzzle away. Go ahead and shoot those parasites on Toxo, and that'll give you health to heal, and you can stay in the bath for longer. How's that sound? Atreus out. Just kidding. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
So this helpful little fella is a reference to Atreus from God of War. I mean, he calls himself Atreus, so that should be pretty obvious. I like this Easter egg a lot, because if you've played any PlayStation exclusive over the past couple of years, you'll know that companions can't wait to tell you exactly what you need to do at any given moment. Oh, and I'd like to say a huge thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. War Thunder is a free-to-play MMO military warfare game available on PC, consoles, and mobile. Now, since the game is all about vehicle combat, it's no surprise that it features one of the most detailed vehicle damage models in all of gaming. Every vehicle is modelled down to individual components, all of which can be damaged and affect how that vehicle performs. Of course, all that applies to your chosen vehicle too. The thing is, when you're destroyed, you can even see exactly what happened using the game's awesome X-ray mode. So even a defeat still looks cool. Now, despite all that detail, War Thunder is still very approachable. Arcade mode offers fast-paced action with forgiving mechanics, simulator mode delivers a full realism experience, and realistic mode strikes a great balance between the two. So there really is something for everyone. What's especially impressive is that all of this is also available on iOS and Android, so you can take the battle anywhere. War Thunder is free, so there's no reason not to try it. Use my links in the description or the pinned comment to download War Thunder today. For a limited time, new players or players returning after 6 months on PC or console can get free rewards like 100,000 Silver Lions, premium vehicles, and XP boosts. Thanks again.
Are you surprised I'm not skipping the ad? I'm not skipping the ad because it helps him out. I mean, we're reacting to his stuff, and I'm gonna be like other reactors who run to ads as well. I will let the ad play because that's their ad. They need to make money. That's what I'm saying, Seth. I mean, as much as we hate ads, ads help creators. And I want these creators to continue to make money. That way, they can continue to make content that we can react to. Holy shit, a town in Japan has canceled its Cherry Blossom Festival due to badly behaved tourists. Authorities in Fuji Yoshida say visitors were trespassing, littering, and defecating in private yards. Then why don't I play Nikkei? Because Nikkei is boring, like Xenosaurus Zero. That's why I dropped Xenosaurus Zero. Because they both got boring.
To War Thunder for sponsoring, and now let's get back to the video. Now, in my never-ending hunt for Easter eggs and details, I play some pretty weird games. But I'm struggling to think of a weirder game than Grandpa High on Retro. Grandpa High on Retro is a third-person shooter that sees...
But it would have helped Alice. But I already support Alice. Look, Seth, I subscribe to Alice on Twitch, and I subscribe to her coffee. I do support Alice. Don't think I don't. I do support Alice. You may be very little, but I do. I give her money every month. Her and Mari.
You playing as a grandpa who, on the promise of getting lucky, heads out to save a damsel in distress. Now, you might think that doesn't sound that weird. Well, in the free DLC add-on, you once again play as Grandpa, except this time you need to smoke weed to shrink down in size so that you can enter the insides of your grandson's girlfriend.
But the sponsorships, look, it's fine that you get sponsorships, all right? But I'm not going to play every single sponsorship. And plus, it was just a little ad. It's not going to kill you. It's an ad for her. It's an ad for them. If they would have put out an ad, good on them. I hope it works out successfully. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to play the game. I let the ad play on this one. I'm not going to play War Thunder. I just want to watch the video. But since I'm going to use this video as content, I'm going to let the ad play. That way he gets revenue from it. That way he gets watch time from it. That way when he goes back and say, look, I got somebody to look at my video for watch the actual ad.
And remove the bacteria that's preventing her from getting pregnant. See, I told you it was weird.
Who is going to sleep with your wife? Grandpa. Is going to chill but kill if he has to. Grandpa.
After finishing the DLC, Granddad goes back to doing what he does best, and that's building model trains. Only joking, he carries on.
How has the sponsorship ended, Seth? This video came out 12 hours ago. It's 12 hours old, so the sponsorship is still good.
Smoking copious amounts of drugs. Well, during the final cutscene, you can see this.
It's not where, but when in time. You need to come to the future.
Oh!
Who is going to sleep with your wife? Grandpa.
No!
Who is going to...
Oh, no!
He has to. Grandpa.
No!
Put triple S to slam.
So somehow, Grandad has gotten his hands on some very special documents. The type of documents that I don't want to say the name of in this video, just in case YouTube gets a little trigger happy with the old demonetization button. I mean, I mainly shared this Easter egg because I just wanted to tell people how weird.
It's not. It says it's not always. It's always not the code. It's not always the code. Sometimes they can show analytics to the sponsors. Like, look. At least I showed the ad. That means the ad is getting eye time. There's two ways to make money off of ads, Seth, and it always depends on the contract. Some people are like, "Hey, I just get ad time. Just get airtime, and we'll pay you for the airtime," or redeem the code. People redeem the code, and it'll help them get ad time.
This game is. Now, Darkenstein 3D wears its boomer shooter inspirations as a badge of.
And another issue is that sometimes, like the Nikkei one, I had already got past the point where Alice would have made money from it. They're looking for new players most of the time on those smaller streamer endorsements. They're not looking for old players, they're looking for new players.
Honor, and every boomer shooter fan knows that you can't be considered a boomer shooter until you reference this guy.
What game is this?
As a badge of honor.
Oh, Darkenstein 3D. Yeah, that's a big game for
you can't be considered a boomer shooter until you reference this guy.
Is that Freddy Fish?
Swim, hungry. Man, that's one stupid little fish.
Is that Freddy Fish?
So this pretty well hidden fish is Dopefish from the Commander Keen games. Dopefish has appeared in loads of other shooters before, but none more memorable than his 3D ray tracing 4K RTX on RTX off 150 field of view appearance in Doom Eternal. Another well hidden find isn't so little. During episode 3 level 3, you can find this guy.
Is that the Doomslayer?
My name is, as always, good old Papa Slim.
Now, if I'm honest, I don't know who this is, or who it's supposed to be a reference to, but what I do know is, he sure can break it down. Oh, and have you ever wondered what Nazi poo looks like? I mean, I know I have, and thanks to Darkenstein 3D, I now have my answer. If you flush a toilet, there is a chance that this will happen.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so stupid. No!
So South Park Snow Day isn't as good as The Stick of Truth or The Fractured Butthole. But is it a bad game? I don't think so. You see, I was fully on board with the if it's not a South Park RPG, it's bad train that was doing the rounds when the game released. But having replayed it for this video, I actually had fun. I honestly believe that if the two RPGs were never released, then people would think much more highly of Snow Day. Anyway, South Park doesn't need me to fight its corner, but it does need me to find a really cool Easter egg. On the Ice Rink Horde Defense map, which is part of the Dance with the Veiled Horde DLC, you can find 3 generators, and if you activate them in the order that I do, this will happen.
Oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now?
We've all heard of Rudolph and his shiny nose.
Oh god.
And we all know Frosty, who's
made God.
out of snow. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, small and brown, he comes from you.
Now, I'm not entirely sure how much of that song I was allowed to show you because of pesky.
I don't think it's because it's 3D reason why most people. Oh, you think it's because? Yeah, I think it's because it's 3D that threw a lot of people off.
Activating the 3 generators will trigger a nostalgic rendition of Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo, a song that at one point in the late 90s was sung in school playgrounds all across the world. Now, I've said before that I really need to cover more mobile games.
How bad is that kids knew about Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo? What's the last 3D South Park game you can think of? Oh, that's easy. The one on the Nintendo 64.
In these videos.
Easy. I actually like that
so
game.
I can't remember when I said it, but I'm pretty sure that I have. Anyway, today's mobile game of choice is Car Parking Multiplayer, which despite the name, features a distinct lack of parking cars.
There's a whole mode
what it
about
does
parking
feature,
cars.
though, is a giant open world map to explore, with some pretty cool Easter eggs to find. And first up is this.
Is that the Volt? Is that a Volt 76? Volt 13.
I mean, I probably don't need to explain this one, but just in case, this is a reference to the vaults seen in the Fallout series. The other Easter egg that I found so far is a very common one, but this time with a twist. At this location on the map, you can find this.
Oh, what do we got here? That's a balloon. Oh god, it's a balloon! Hello, Georgie Porgy.
So it's the familiar sight of a red balloon and paper boat near a sewer drain. Well,
They
if you
float.
set the time of day to night,
They all
this
float down
will happen.
here. Uh-oh. No. No. Oh, fuck no!
Okay, so it's just an evil clown PNG stuck behind the drain, but at least it's more than most games give us. Speaking of overused Easter eggs, up next is
lost
Fallout
my balloon.
76, with
No.
more Easter eggs found in the new Burning Springs part of the map. And it doesn't get much more overused than this.
Who still plays Fallout 76?
So this car hidden inside of a cave is a reference to Back to the Future Part 3,
How?
where Marty hides the DeLorean in a similar looking cave. Okay, the car in Fallout isn't the most obvious depiction of the iconic time-traveling machine that we've ever seen, but if you look at it from the back and squint a little, the similarities are there.
Get the
Also,
hell
in
out of
privacy,
here, you're
You can
stretching.
find a black cowboy hat, which of course ties in with the Wild West setting of Back to the Future 3. Now, if you thought that was
I
debatable,
think that's a stretch.
you're going to love this
I
next
think
Easter
that's a stretch.
I'm going to take a relaxing walk up to this farm, and I want you to take a guess at what it could be referencing. So what do you think? Well, to me, and if I'm honest, I might be alone, but this farm reminds me of Herschel's farm seen in The Walking Dead Season 2. Here we have Herschel's house, the locked barn hiding a gruesome surprise, and, well, the well. Come on, please tell me I'm not the only one that sees it. I mean, to be fair, this is part of the reason I love making these videos.
I mean, you can put it out there. It might be an Easter egg, but I don't know. It might be stretching. I don't
So
know.
I can share my delusional takes, and you guys can shoot me down in a blaze of glory. Oh, and on a completely unrelated note, inside the barn you can find a teddy bear sitting on 3 crates, which could be a reference to the mystery box seen in COD Zombies. I don't know why it's here, but it is. The other Fallout 76 Easter egg isn't debatable, and instead, is just really cool. At this location on the map, you can find this.
You never watched The Walking Dead? I mean, it was fine until you realize it's just a drama show, and there's not too much. There's not a whole lot of zombies. It's just a drama show.
This. So these 4 skeletons are a reference to the guys from King of the Hill, who spent many an afternoon drinking beers by a fence, which if I'm honest, I kind of admire. Now, like many of you, I eagerly await the release of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Look, it's a game for Alice. Storage Hunter Simulator.
And each time the game gets delayed, I understand, but the ache in my loins to play.
Why the fuck are there so many simulator games?
Only gets worse. Well, in Storage Hunter Simulator, I might have found a way to get my hands on the game much earlier than anyone else. At this location on the map, you can find this. Okay, so it's called Storage Hunter Simulator 6 and not Grand Theft Auto 6, but it's still more real than any of those videos I've seen where people claim that Rockstar sent them GTA 6 early. Oh, and something else that I found in Storage Hunter is this.
So it's
Thor's trusty hammer, Mjolnir. Though considering it's a weapon that can only be wielded by those deemed worthy, a price tag of $7,777 seems pretty cheap. So that's it. Don't forget to use the links down below to check out War Thunder.
Alright. Put a like on that one. Share the video. You know what to do. Y'all give him a watch. Give him some watch time. He deserves it. He goes through these games. But that's going to be it for me. I am done. I'm tired. I'm starting to get a little sleepy. Plus, I got to go to work tomorrow. I do have to go to work tomorrow. So, I was hoping to get tomorrow off, but we weren't able to get to the point where we can get tomorrow off. So, work tomorrow. Partners, I'll see you tomorrow night. I hope you're here. We're going to be playing, hopefully, if I can get it working, Dead Space 2. Cowboys going back into outer space to fight evil zombies. Let's find somebody to raid. Seth, thank you for staying. I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun going down memory lane. Who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid? Who are we raiding? Who are we raiding? Let us watch. Is that Naomi Cat? Alright, we're gonna rate Naomi Cat. She's a VTuber that likes to play League of Legends. I know League of Legends. We don't like League of Legends right here, but meh. Like I said, y'all have a wonderful night. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Dead Space 2. Thank you for all the lurkings, all the support. I'll see y'all next time, partners. Down that dusty trail.
Cat. Oh, the cat's off. Cat's back on.
Hey, thank you for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. I appreciate you.
Hey, Cowboy, thank you so much.